Are we rolling?
Yes.
We are.
Captain's log. Stardate 54524.2. The USS Kismet and the USS Salamander have made contact and rescued the Merit, the Romulan scout craft carrying Lieutenant Myth and Warrant Officer Makarov in the unclaimed border regions between the Federation and the Romulan Star Empire. The scout ship is believed to have been based out of a secret Tal Shiar facility, and the data stored within could be invaluable in putting together our next step. We're well into beta shift, but Myth and Makarov have yet to be debriefed. I'm preparing to do that now. Again, we need to look over the Romulan vessel. Right now we're on our way back towards Federation space, and we hope to arrive before the Tal Shiar catch up with us. All in all, we have an opportunity to gain some very actionable intelligence. On top of everything, Commander Joan has put forth a urgent priority 1 communique. However, I'm not privy to all of the details as of current. End log.
And we will start. Where shall we begin first? I think we shall begin first in someone's quarters. Grennan, you've had just enough time to kind of hit the sonic shower, wake up more because beta shift, and you should be resting, but there's still some stuff you need to do. There's
No
calls
time.
you need to do. There's no time. You just now, as of starting scene, have just given that log, and it's like, all right.
Yeah.
But what?
Finishes his log, realizes, oh man, there are reports from that commander back in the Alpha Quadrant that I have to look over. He sits down, picks up a pad. Let's see, was it Commander Ray? That's it, Ray. Captain Ray. Ugh, he rubs his eyes. It's too late for this. And he starts skimming through the pad.
Give me insight plus command, difficulty of 2.
Let's see. I don't think I have anything that helps here. Alrighty. No focuses or anything, just raw roll. Did that do it? Oh, god damn it. Well, good luck, guys.
Starting off strong.
For the briefest of moments as you're reading over the pad, you feel a presence in the room.
Captain looks around.
You get this, the air just feels oppressively thick and heavy. This sense of meaninglessness just kind of passes through the room, but it's nowhere. And a slight hint of indignant anger along with it.
And Captain just sort of, he doesn't move his head, but just eyes glance from left to right. Oh no.
Captain Grennan, this is Commander Joan. Sorry to bother you. I have the subspace channel encoded finally. We should be able to talk with them now if you're free.
Uh, sure, sure. Do you want me to meet you somewhere, or?
You're probably going to want to uh, take this message privately. I'm putting you in contact with one of our ships out in the Shackleton. They are looking to investigate Nerinja Station ahead of us. Hopefully, officer with the most clearance and the most access to knowledge of what's this conspiracy is about beyond myself, and you may be able to give some insight into Azalon and the possibility of an encounter with Starix.
I see. All right, I'll take it in here then. Captain gets up, walks over to his replicator, presses a button on it, and says, "Hot chocolate."
One materializes into view, piping hot.
Yeah. Picks it up, walks over to the like the comm terminal on the wall, and presses the button to take the call just as he puts the mug of hot chocolate to his mouth and takes a big sip.
Great setup.
Hello?
Captain Grennan, this is Captain Haggard of the Ulysses.
Captain Haggard.
Yes. Sorry to get you up so late. And despite the hour, you notice that she is, her uniform, hair, everything is immaculately, like she just, has gotten up straight in the morning. Sorry to get you up so late, but I wanted to get some information from you before we made our way to Narendra Station.
Can I get a read on her?
Give me Insight Command, difficulty 1.
There we go. Got a momentum that time.
Not generated a momentum. Quick read on her. She seems to be or rather, put it this way. From what you recall, she's not part of the 10th. She's part of another fleet, the one that basically swapped places with the 10th in the Shackleton. There's basically 2 or 3 that are out there because it's a large expanse. There's the one that's around based out of Nerinja Station, and there's 2 others. One is, well, it has a bunch of classified markers, so probably intelligence or Corps of Engineers or something. That happened. There's always some empty far edge of space that the engineers do something so they can blow stuff up and not hurt anybody. That's Federation anyway.
But
Haggard's from a 3rd fleet.
I have cold reading, so I essentially get a free question. Am I picking up any kind of stress off of her?
You tell me, Haggard.
Not stress per se, but definitely a kind of professional concern, not about necessarily talking to you or anything, but about something that's going on.
Okay. So I understand that this is a highly encrypted message.
Yes, Captain. Starfleet Command has tasked me with investigating people who outrank me by at least a couple of steps, and before I step into that particular minefield, I thought I would get the latest information from the captain who's on the ground, as it were.
Right.
So, what in the hell is going on out here?
Well, out here is a fairly broad descriptor. Might need to be a little more specific.
I've been tasked with investigating Narendra Station and looking into Admiral Azalon.
The moment you say Azalon,
Mhm.
the captain goes rigid. I see.
Starfleet, and this is still classified, Captain. Uh, Starfleet suspects Azalon of being part of a conspiracy of some sort to mutiny against Starfleet, if you can believe that.
No buts about it. Your intel is spot on.
Hmm. Unfortunately, to this point, we don't have any evidence of this conspiracy, and Azalon has friends in high places in both Starfleet and the Federation Council. Not to mention that she's CO of Narendra and has a fleet at her disposal. Beyond that, she also has appointed Roland Starex High Commissioner, which, as far as my research shows, hasn't been done for 100 years.
And the captain puts a hand to his chin and he says, well, there's your connection right there. As you may or may not be aware, the Kismet recently flew right into an ambush.
Do tell.
Recently, while transporting the Cowkit people back to their homeworld, return them from being trafficked, we ran into Lord Starex. He put forth to me a plan to essentially help get the Cowkit people back to their planet safe and sound. One that would involve taking a bit of a detour, as it were. I trusted him, and the Kismet almost got blown up for it. I don't remember all of the details of the encounter. We're still working on recovering what we can from the fragmented ship's computer logs. The Starfleet Corps of Engineers has been hard at work trying to repair them in their entirety.
Who attacked you?
That we don't know, but we were led into that ambush by Starex. Now, whether he knew that ambush was coming, I couldn't tell you. But whoever it was that attacked us knew we were coming.
So, beyond the fact that Starex was appointed High Commissioner by Azalon, what other evidence of a connection between the two and this conspiracy have you managed to dig up?
I'm trying to think. Specifically in regards to Starex.
You said that that Starex was the connection to and the evidence between about Azalon and the supposed conspiracy. How so? Because what you're telling me now is he might have led you into an ambush, but then again, he might not have.
Well, one way or another, the direction he sent us led to an ambush. Now, whether or not that was because of intel that he was fed from someone above him or not is to be seen, but he came to us with rather explicit instructions when he should have been serving a penal sentence on Earth.
Yes, I'm aware of the whole debacle with the Genesis device.
Yes. On that regard, the only reason I can think of that they would send Starex to me with orders would be because they knew that I would trust them implicitly.
Mm. It is suspicious, but it's not.
Proof. I know, and it's why we're digging through the computer records. We think.
And I understand there's been some difficulties with your executive officer.
Yes, he's currently AWOL. We don't know where he is, and all of my attempts to look into the matter have been stonewalled.
Do you believe that he may have been suborned and become part of this conspiracy?
I think Grennan knows that Penn's mother is Aslan, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Just trying to remember if that was common knowledge to him. That Penn is, let's just say, he is closely linked to Aslan by blood.
Well,
Close enough.
And the
Doctor's
Cowcat,
like, that's not actually true.
Shut up. Being dramatic.
And inaccurate, but go on.
and the Cowcat, I understand that the Salamander, I believe it was carrying the majority of the Cowcat people, and that they were lost and never recovered.
That's right. And to that matter, I've learned some rather disturbing information from another captain out in the Alpha Quadrant at Endon's Landing.
What's that, Captain?
Out there is some kind of device, object, entity of some kind, capable of interfering with reality. They don't understand it. Particularly well, and research is still ongoing. But what we do know is that this reality-altering thing, he says clearly, fishing for a better word, has some kind of direct line of connection with the Cowcat. All of them.
All of them. I've been read in on the red and the blue. Is there any new information about the Cowcat that I should be aware of?
Well, I'll be honest with you, I happen to know quite a bit about the Cowcat, having served for a while as head of the task force on Cowcat recovery. I unfortunately don't have that position anymore, but my time there has given me a great amount of knowledge. I suppose the question is, what do you not know?
Well, I know that there are basically two types of Cowcat, blue and red. That the Cowcat's level of sentience increases.
There's a third type. Red and black.
Red and black?
Yes.
So, as I was saying, the larger the aggregate of Cowcat crystals, the higher intelligence, apparently. Blue tends to be helpful and apparently has some healing properties, while red is aggressive and usually appears in reaction to something, an attack or something similar. Now, what is this red-black?
And Grennan knows what they symbolize, right? They figured that out, I think.
You know what you know. Whether that's accurate or not.
I'm just trying to remember what Grennan knows about the red black. It's one of those, you told me as the game master, from game master to game master, you've told me a number of things, but I'm trying to remember what Grennan knows.
He doesn't sleep.
Varlo did an info dump to Grennan about a lot of the red black stuff.
Yeah. So like that's the problem. Is I don't remember how much Grennan knows.
The general knowledge in the fleet database is that red black is artificially induced. It's not something Cowcat do on their own. It's done to them. No one really knows who did it yet, whether it's a government.
We have
it would-
suspicions.
there's suspicions, but there's no hard evidence about anyone in particular. And it's how you can subdue Cowcat to do what you want. Red Cowcat won't do what you want. They'll do it. They'll defend their people.
Right.
The red black are these. They just kind of do what you tell them because they have no sense of self
Right, okay.
anymore.
Got it. So, red black crystals function, well, I suppose you could say somewhat similarly to red crystals in that they can be very dangerous. The thing about red black crystals, however, as far as we've encountered them, is that they're not doing these things because they want to.
So
The
they're
red, the
being
red black-
controlled.
Yes, that's what that's what the red black coloration signifies, that they are essentially no longer in control of themselves.
So they've been weaponized, if you will.
I suppose you could put it like that.
And what are their capabilities? What are the dangers that they present, and how do you defend against them?
Well, so far we've been defending against them by turning them back into their benign blue form. However, that's really only worked thus far, turning from red to blue. I don't know how much success we'd have in turning a large amount of red-black Cowcat crystal back, especially since, from what information we've been able to gather, red-black crystals are an artificial phenomenon.
Wait, artificial? So someone is creating them, or is someone?
The process of turning Cowcat into red-black Cowcat is an artificial one. It is not a change that the Cowcat undergo naturally.
I see. I understand now. And what sort of offensive capabilities do these the red and the red-black Cowcat have?
Powerful psionic abilities, for one, that increase with numbers.
Could you give me some examples of these psionic manifestations?
I'm trying to remember again which ones Grennan knows off the top of his head. It's because Martin doesn't tell him shit.
Well, tell them what you can tell them what the ship's encountered as a whole.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember because it's been so long.
Give me let's have Grennan roll insight command difficulty of 1.
Is this to tell something about Haggard?
No, this is to remember stuff. Like a
It's
lot
like
has happened over the last while.
It's a command, you say?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna spend the momentum just to get the third die for the reroll.
Oh, okay.
And I'll reroll that one. Nice. 3
That's
momentum.
three momentum gained. In what you know about, one is that they consume energy. So if they're in contact with something with an EPS system, they eat plasma effectively. If they're near sun, that's why they can live out in open space, because they can just float there and eat solar radiation and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that's one way they can attack it in a physical sense. Sonically, they can generally the red black ones, they'll give this sense of despair to people, and they'll kind of shut, and basically it won't kill them, but it shuts them down. And when they take stress, they would take, in the mechanical sense, they don't die, they just kind of stop, and they're not active anymore.
Yeah.
And also
Okay.
you realize that the head researcher regarding Cowcat, the director of research for Cowcat, is your chief medical officer. So there's some stuff that your character knows, but
Yes.
you were just the investigator. You weren't the head researcher on it.
Yes. Well, to that matter, from what I know from the head researcher's reports on the matter, the Cowcat are capable of draining power from a ship's systems. They seem to be able to subsist on energy such as solar radiation or plasma from a ship's EPS systems. That's one method of using them offensively. Of course, on a more biological scale, they have incredible psionic capabilities that, as I've mentioned, scale with numbers.
And what are their
And-
weaknesses?
Weaknesses.
What are the Red Black or the Cowcats in general's weaknesses? Are they immune to phaser fire? Are they? What are their weaknesses? If we
Are-
have to fight them, how do we take the fight to them?
That's something I'd like to avoid, but I suppose if it's unavoidable. Are they immune to again? Are they immune to phaser fire? I'm trying to remember because I don't feel like we've ever fought them.
Yeah,
Have
we
we?
have. Oh, you
Yeah,
weren't
we have.
there.
Huh?
You weren't there when we did. Oh no, yeah, you were. The original mission. You just weren't on the planet with us. On Calcat.
Oh yeah, they're volatile.
Yeah, you can shoot them with phasers, and
They blow
the
up.
red ones at least explode.
Yeah. So
I think the blue ones just become red and pissed off, but you know.
Pretty much.
I think phasers may be a potential way to destroy the Cowcat. At least it would allow you to easily destroy the red ones. But I can't speak for the red-black crystals. They're a different beast altogether.
I don't want to find myself fighting a sentient life form again any more than you do. But if someone is able to control a significant amount of red-black crystals, there may
Right.
be no choice but to break them into smaller groups at best.
Right. I just want it remembered that the red-black crystals are a victim in all of this.
And you see her kind of reach a little bit off screen and come back. She has this coffee mug. It looks kind of old and heavy. You can't quite see what's emblazoned on the side of it, but
Aww.
it looks like the part of an Excelsior class silhouette with the numbers 2001 on it. As she takes a sip and puts it back down out of sight. Very well. This is all terrible. So, do you believe that Admiral Azalon is somehow connected with this red-black variant of the Cowcat and using it for his own ends?
I do.
And do you advise approaching Narendra Station closely or personally interviewing the Admiral?
I don't know. If this admiral truly is the one who's behind all of this, she's tricky. She's always somehow managed to be 5 steps ahead of everyone. If you decide to go in and interview her, she'll know you're coming. If we decide to approach with a fleet, and he just buries his face into his hand, she'll know we're coming.
She kind of grins and says, well, Captain Grinnan, the Ulysses may be many things, but she's not particularly known for her subtlety. And Grinnan may have remembered hearing about this ship, reports and stories about the Dominion War. But in any event, very well. My mission gets harder and harder. One more thing. I'm also supposed to contact Admiral Trailblazer aboard the USS Artemis. Is that right?
Victoria.
Victoria, sorry. the USS Victoria, some sort of experimental vessel. He is supposedly operating in this area. I have the codes to let him know that I'm legitimate, but I'm not sure where to even begin searching for him. I don't suppose you have any guidance for me.
I wouldn't begin to know where to look, but if I somehow come across him, I suppose I could do you the favor of forwarding your codes.
I would appreciate any assistance you could get. And the researcher into the Cowcat, that person is aboard your vessel?
Yes, that would be Dr. Efrix.
If you could have her put together a report for me on all the information she has about the Cowcat, and have Commander Joan forward it to me via secure channels. I may need all the information I can. And Captain Grin, there's a reason that Starfleet has sent me and the Ulysses to poke into these matters, as it were, and also as backup for you. The Ulysses is admirably suited to stand up to, say, an Akira class vessel, if necessary, or, in my opinion, more than one.
Captain nods and he looks like, you'll see how there's sort of this terminal off to the right.
Mhm.
He's gonna just sort of press a couple buttons on it. And he's gonna pull up the what he can about the USS Ulysses.
So the Ulysses has the trait legendary warship. It was undergoing, it's a Galaxy class that was undergoing a refit right at the beginning of the Dominion War.
Ooh.
And since they already had it in there, they pretty much did everything they could to turn it into a battleship.
Nice.
And it served with distinction and won many battle honors and throughout the war, earning its trait of legendary warship.
I must of course ask, is it named for Captain Ulysses Haggard?
Actually, it just so happens to be, that's just one of the ship names.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
There's actually another Ulysses of the similar name that's a Nebula.
Okay.
And Captain Allison Haggard is a highly decorated officer during the Dominion War, to where mechanically she gained the trait War Hero.
Neat.
So yeah, this is pretty much a Galaxy class turned pure warship, or as much as you can with a Galaxy class.
Nice.
So should you need backup, we will be in the area. And
all right.
Let's hope you don't, and let's hope that we can put an end to all of these shenanigans without having to start another war, particularly with our own. I've had about enough of war these days.
So haven't I. Now, as for the researcher and the notes, I'll have her write up a report for you as soon as possible. Right now, she's currently in sick bay, attending to two of our senior staff, recently recovered after, well, let's just say something of an away mission. There are still a lot of details that we don't know.
Understood. Well, that's about all the questions I have for you, Captain. Keep me in the loop, and I'll do the same for you.
I was just going to say, you could keep me apprised of any advancements on your side. I would appreciate it.
Be sure that I will. Well, Captain, good luck. Get some rest. You look like you need it. Haggard out.
Burn.
Oh, how I wish I could rest. And the captain taps on the panel again. Captain to Dr. Efrix.
Efrix here.
As soon as you're done looking after Warrant Officer Makarov and Myth, ensuring that they have no lasting that there's going to be no lasting damage to them. I need you to write up a report on the Cowkit. Make sure that it's as comprehensive as you can make it.
Very well.
I'll be down to sickbay shortly. I need to speak with Myth and Makarov anyhow. Captain Grennan out. And the captain's going to make one more call. He needs to reach out to Joan.
I feel like that pause in the call was just how tired Grennan is.
Yep.
As
That
you be-
was Efrix taking note of that and plotting.
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 All right, so you start entering in the computer to call him up. Just as you do so,
Uh-oh.
you hear a chime at your door.
Enter.
He walks in, his face he looks visibly disturbed at the moment. He's holding a pad, like just gripping it with all his strength, and he seems to be trying very hard not to pace as he kind of comes to attention.
The captain picks up his pad from his reports from Captain Ray, and he says, "You too, huh?"
No, Captain. We need to talk.
Oh, why do I have
You're
the
not
feeling
gonna
I'm
like what I
going
have to tell you.
Yeah, I was gonna say, why do I have the feeling that I'm not going to like a single word that's about to come out of your mouth? No offense.
Yeah, I'm getting done a lot today. Well, and we'll cut to another scene. As we cut to sick bay, after Efrix, actually, you're probably in here. As Efrix just got the message from the captain, and you have 3 patients currently. There is Lieutenant Myth and Warrant Officer Joker, but also just recently came in. That person shouldn't be there yet. Is Lieutenant Varder, who was found collapsed in a hallway and has
Great.
been brought in. And you kind of like, as you were about to attend to all 3 of them and get this over with, because it's the middle of the night. It's beta shift. You should be like in bed, but there's stuff you need to attend personally.
I don't sleep.
Oh, you don't sleep.
Denobulans don't sleep.
Denobulans. Don't worry about it.
I had my week-long rest like 6 months ago. I'm fine.
But yes, Varder just came. So as you're about to attend to them, that's when the captain called. It's like, well, you have to take it because it's the captain calling you. He just got done telling you, hey, by the way, after you're done all this other stuff you're doing, could you do a comprehensive report on the thing that you're the director of research for?
Yeah, I mean, I probably have one partially written up anyway. I just have to combine notes. It's fine. It's fine.
I mean,
Won't take that
it's
long.
not like you're starting from scratch.
It's true.
Am I technically still in charge, or did they remove me from that?
You're still in charge. You're not the one in trouble.
Okay. Well, I backed him, so it was possible.
Remove me from the fucking task force. I have 23 reputation, damn it.
I mean, you could take a demotion if you want.
Although, what's the, oh, I took that thing though, didn't I, for 2 reputation?
Yes. Dr. Efrix, what is it you attend to first?
Okay, so preliminary examination, Myth and Joker are still conscious, right?
They are both conscious. Well, Myth never really went to sleep. Joker lay down and was being examined, but the final examination hasn't been done by you.
Mm-hmm.
Preliminary reports suggest that neither Myth nor Joker are damaged or injured damaged and injured in any particular way.
Okay.
At most, Joker's tired and mentally strained.
Yeah. So he just needs rest.
Yep.
And maybe a trip to the counselor. definitely a trip to the counselor. Having been on a ship by myself, thinking the rest of my crew was dead. Yeah, definitely a trip to the counselor. All right, and Varder was just brought in.
He was just brought in. Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna go examine him first.
You see a basically his chart on the biobed monitor.
Mm-hmm.
At most, all that's been said right now, he's stable. He isn't getting any worse or better. But according to the incident report, someone was just walking to their shift for beta shift. They found him in the corridor, and so they tried to check on him, non-responsive, called for medical assistance. Doctor came by, couldn't wake him up where he was, so they brought him to sick bay.
Probably something to do with psionics, if I had to guess. Has anybody run a scan on his brain activity in regards to that?
Not yet. They're waiting for your go ahead. They did preliminary like first aid type stuff to see if they could just rouse him right there, and then it's like, nope, I can't wake him up. Uh-oh. We need a biobed.
Okay. So yeah, that's my first thought. Is to check for his psionic levels.
Give me a reason plus medicine. Assisted by ships, sensors plus medicine. Difficulty would be 3, but it is reduced by 1 because you are in sickbay for.
Mm-hmm. Does emergency medicine apply?
I think. Yes, actually, because you haven't determined how bad he is yet. That's true.
Okay.
Medicine, you say?
I'm gonna spend. Do we have? We do. I'm gonna spend for caution.
I'll roll for the ship.
Just one.
And what's the complication? What? Just normal?
We'll make a complication 2. Why not?
Okay.
You from the ship.
Gain a momentum.
Great.
And where are... There you are. Whoops, I misspelled that entirely. Good job.
I knew what you meant.
Yeah.
And what's his baseline typically? I think by now we would know. He's been in here so much for this. Okay. So yeah, definitely elevated. Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So that particular rating in mind, it also seems that that's the thing you see in the brain. That's the thing that stands out because everything else seems fine.
Mm-hmm.
Certain all the lights are on and flashing in the brain, as it were. But that's the one number that's like, that's not right and technically not possible. Because it's on a scale of 1 to 100.
Yeah, does that reflect like when they were experiencing the higher severe psionic episodes when we were in the nebula?
Would you like to spend a momentum to ask that question?
Sure. No. Okay. Oh, what have you gotten yourself into this time, Varder? Are there things that can help with psionic episodes? Like, is there a specific... I think me as the player is a dum-dum and I don't know.
You could try to do one of two things. Well, one of three. One is do
Mhm.
nothing because he's stable.
Yeah.
One is to give him certain pharmaceuticals that will help his brain chemistry kind of level out and not spike in a disastrous way. Right now it hasn't, but you
Yeah.
can get ahead of the game and hopefully keep it
Yeah,
from doing
it's
that.
under stress, so it could be
The third
not
one
imminent, but
is full on brain surgery, neurosurgery, and
yeah,
go in
no,
there.
we're not doing neurosurgery.
I
Unless
suppose
we have
a
to.
fourth option is a mind meld and get someone to do psionic surgery, but
Yeah.
that's super experimental, and only certain Vulcans know how to do that.
Yeah, and our head of surgery has already told us that she's not trained in that. So,
Yet.
yeah. All right. They're stable for now. What's going on in there? I'm hesitant to give him pharmaceuticals in case it triggers something else. And I keep him under observation for now, and not do anything.
Okay, so you're just gonna leave it, let it lie for now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm worried about the fact that it's elevated, but for now he's stable, and I don't want to risk causing a reaction when there isn't one yet. But I want to have staff monitoring him.
Okay. Basically, you're going to use your doctor's advantage to make sure that there's always somebody watching his biobed, like aside from the computer, because the biobed kind of
yeah. I want physical eyes on it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll actually mark that so we all know. So more for the GM's benefit, so they don't forget that they did them.
Yeah.
So we'll have a doctor just right there.
And go over and see our wayward hijackers over here.
Someone said my name.
Welcome back.
You
Lieutenant.
walk over.
Did he just pass out?
You hear him snoring a little.
Oh, okay.
Myth is awake because android.
Yeah. My statement stands. Hello, Lieutenant.
Myth is just kind of looking around. Greetings. I appear to be functioning.
Glad to be back. That's good. You glad to be back?
I suppose so.
I look over Myth's charts. Not that there's a lot there, but
Give me reason engineering difficulty 2.
oh boy.
Don't worry, the ship's helping you with sensors plus engineering.
Roll it.
Sure,
Sensors
why
engineering.
not? My reason's really good, so there's that.
Should I be assisting on this roll?
You
Oh,
could be.
actually, that's pretty good. Oh wait, that was security. Shoot, engineering's even better.
I was gonna say, but engineering is engineering, so like it could be worse than
That's
that.
a 2 instead of a 1. So
I'd like to roll an assist just as like I'm letting the doctor know what my functional system stuff would be.
Give me insight engineering.
Cool.
Ship isn't helping out today.
that's all right.
The ship is letting you know that indeed there's an android on your biobed, and that the biobed is not configured to scan artificial life forms.
Yeah,
It's like,
pretty
thanks,
much.
biobed, super helpful. you actually generate 1 momentum between the two of you. It would seem that Myth, you're able to kind of do between giving the advice and actually doing a sort of self-diagnostic subroutine to kind of help out. Both of you determined that Myth has been subjected to examination and like parts of her paneling have been opened and people have poked at it and prodded at it. Nothing's been removed. There's no devices that have been placed in Myth's person. Doesn't seem to be damaged beyond because the alloys that androids are made of is fairly sturdy. So even if they were like very clumsy or rough, they wouldn't scratch anything. You need like you have to go out of your way to damage an android on purpose. But yeah, between the two of you, it does look like there was some. And this Myth, you already know why this is the case, but this is news to you, FX. It would seem that Myth's higher functions of the positronic brain have a weird program in there that it wasn't there before during her last check-in, and it seems to be the program currently is kind of just quarantined and stored in a corner of her mind, as it were. Whereas Myth, that's when you went into dreamland of happiness and had to walk your way out of it.
Mm-hmm.
But from your end, FX, there's this weird program, and it's meant as it's quarantined off, but it seems to be something that arrests higher functions of the android. To keep it from, presumably to keep the android from, stopping anyone from examining her.
A minute. This is troubling. But it looks like you have it well under control for now.
Indeed, I was able to run I believe the closest term would be subconscious quarantine procedure.
I suppose the next step there would be to remove it. Should you want
Potentially.
to.
However, there is not currently an expert in positronic engineering inside the Federation.
Oh, there is. Alex.
Yeah, I don't trust him.
No, that's incorrect.
The choice is, of course, yours.
Indeed.
For now, we'll have to keep an eye on it.
It is something I will
Looks
look
like
into.
it arrests your higher functions.
Indeed,
It needs to keep you under.
I was kept in a dream state of sorts. While my memories were being probed.
Essentially, they anesthetized you.
An apt analogy.
Efforts kind of quirks a smile at you. Glad to have you back.
Indeed. There is substantial difference to the ship since I last recall being on board.
You hear Joker stirring and kind of sitting up a little bit.
Ah, Mr. Makarov. Welcome back.
He's just gonna...
He's just gonna leave?
Well, shoot.
Snore.
Cut out, apparently. He's just gonna kind of
poof.
side-eye the doctor. Perfect.
We're doing great today.
Looks like physically you're doing all right. How are you feeling?
He's just gonna kind of shrug and look away.
That good.
Oh.
Sorry, I'm switching out of my uniform, like, in real life.
Or an
Joker
officer
just
that's
gets out
highly
of bed and
inappropriate.
strips.
Want some
Um,
elevator music to fill the void?
Na, 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 na.
Ba, ba, da, 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 da.
Joker is going to just look at the doctor and just give, like, that mean mug what look.
Don't you give your mom that look.
Efforts' eyebrows raise.
Get out of my room, Mom.
Uh-oh, I know that look. Anything beyond fatigue, aches, pains?
I'm fine.
I find most often when humans tell me that, they are not being truthful.
I said I'm fine. He's going to attempt to get up and walk out the door.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure you are. Everett does the shuffle, so she's like in front of you no matter where you go. Mr. Makarov, I would like you to sit down, please.
Go to your room without supper.
I'm laughing too hard.
I know. There was
God, I
no
haven't
laugh
been
in
this
her
way
voice when
since I
she
was
told you to sit
17.
down. What was that?
I haven't been like this since I was 17. Memories.
Oh, this is great.
I'd rather go to my quarters, thanks.
I'm sure you would. However, given the aggression that you're displaying, I think that's a bad idea.
Hey, I'll be right back.
Grinnin walks in to... Come with me.
If
She
it gets me
gestured
out
to
of
her
here
office.
sooner.
Well, it doesn't get you out of the room. It just gets you in a smaller room, which may not be the best idea, but she figures you don't want to have this out in public.
To basically take him to your office?
Mm-hmm.
Or lead him there, more like.
Yeah.
You're going to the principal's office. You're in trouble. Joker's gonna shrug and lean against the wall.
Now listen here, you little shit.
You're not here, Pin. You don't get to play Angry Dad.
Too many memories.
Can I offer you something to drink? She gestures to the replicator.
Got any whiskey?
Fresh out, I'm afraid.
Then a root beer.
That I can do. She gets him a root beer. Walks over. Hands it over to you.
He's gonna take it but not say a word. Because apparently manners aren't from where he's...
Fine. So,
So,
Not going to pretend to know fully what you experienced. I think each of us went through our own kind of trouble.
yeah, you can say something like that.
But I do know a bit about being in a spacecraft by yourself, believing everyone else in your crew is dead. Or at the very least, missing. Unsure of whether or not you're going to be able to find them, or if they will find you.
Yeah, well, it wasn't my first time, so don't get excited.
I didn't say it was. That doesn't mean that there aren't feelings that need to be dealt with there.
He's just gonna shrug and look at the wall.
I'm sorry for the loss of your ship.
Yeah, well, shit happens, right?
She nods her head. That's a mature way of looking at it.
He's just gonna breathe out. Like, like that kind of thing.
You don't think so?
I don't know what to think, Everix.
That's a valid way to feel.
I don't know how I feel at all.
That's also valid. I'll admit to having a decent amount of confusion about how I feel about recent events as well.
It's been a weird couple months, and I've been thrown from ship to ship.
That I can most certainly agree with.
And just as it seems like he's about to open up, you see his face steel again and be like, I should get to my quarters.
Very well. I do, however, want to see you back here in a week's time to meet with Counselor Zolan.
We'll say.
I can make it an order, but I'd rather not.
I've disobeyed them before.
Not from me, you haven't. As she does the Denobulan grin, which is terrifying, by the way.
Oh, we had a couple of you on my first ship.
Oh.
Oof. Oof.
Mm-hmm.
love it. I'm-
That's
No, I'm not doing that.
no, that's Penn's discipline style.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Well, perhaps that's something you can discuss with the counselor Zolan as well. And she holds your eyes. She doesn't let you look away. I feel
What?
I've been remiss in taking care of my crew, my family. I'm not gonna let it happen anymore.
You guys really see each other as a family, don't you?
That includes you. That includes you, Kristoff. And she drops the
Right.
the grin drops to a more friendly and like open smile.
Cue the doll.
And she gets up and opens the door. I think you're fit to return to your quarters, but take it easy. Make sure you're eating and sleeping. If you have any difficulty with either of those things, please don't hesitate to come see me.
Right. He's gonna walk out and walk right out of the med.
Go to my room.
Gotta take the door off his room.
Yo, that's something my dad actually did to me. Don't even bring that up.
Grant's
And
in the middle of something right now, Joker.
we cap off that scene. Effort kind of have a moment to. You kind of see out your window, out of your office. You see that the Jessica Solari has it seems to be attending to Varder, much to the confusion of the medical staff. But she's not touching anything. She's just kind of looking at him, holding his hand.
Oh shit, I
Murmuring
forgot she was
something.
on board. Shit, I should have talked to her. I forgot about her.
So does everybody on the
I
ship.
was going to say, real talk, so did I.
I saw her outside the door. I was just like, "What? Who's that? Who's that again?"
She just wandered around the sick
There.
bay. She kind of, at most, she looked at Myth and kind of nodded, did something on the computer, walked away, tended to Varder again.
Myth is just still sitting on the biobed because she hasn't been dismissed yet.
Oh, yeah. Come back out. Myth, you're free to go.
Thank you, Doctor. She stands up and exits.
If you experience any difficulties with the quarantine routine,
Certainly.
let me know.
I certainly will, Doctor.
Look over at Jessica. I can kind of raise my eyebrows. Didn't expect to see you in my med bay.
We're running out of time.
Pardon?
We're running out of time, Doctor. And with that, cut to a new scene.
Hmm.
Oh no! I don't.
Such a negative reaction. What has he done to you guys? Nothing.
You sounded,
Um,
you sounded
literally
constipated on that. Oh no.
No, just like
Listen, he insulted my ability as a
what-
doctor, and while Efforts doesn't know that.
What has he done to you? Motions to the Kismet crashed into the mountainside of that ice planet.
The jury's still out on that one.
We cut to the ready room of the Tiananmen as a certain ensign walks in.
Oh no.
You're gonna have to give me some explanation. I don't know why this person is here. Are they part of? Are they part of my like trusted circle? Do I
Yeah.
trust this? Okay.
She of the people that's part of your circle, she is not a dissenting voice, but she's a loyal opposition. She gives, as always, the well, here's the risks to that, or here's the thing, here's things to consider. But at the end of the day, you're the captain, so she's following. Well, you're not, but you are, as far as she's concerned.
Yes, ensign.
Well, I've taken a personal look at the engines of the Victoria, as per the Grand Admiral's orders, and I'm here to report that I'm not sure how that's going to have to stay in dock for a while until they get it repaired. When I told their chief engineer at the station that, he promptly kicked me out of the dock, so I've returned back to normal duty.
Is there something interesting about this ship? Does it have better weapons than normal, or why should I be concerned?
Well, it depends, sir. Officially, I'm not supposed to tell you, but I do have a pad on me at the moment with the details of the ship. And she kind of puts it on the table. But I apologize, sir. I must have misplaced it. I'll have to go back to my quarters and check again.
You know, it could be hard making Lieutenant misplacing things, but I can overlook it this time.
Yeah, I'm sure the head of engineering is going to yell at me for an extra 30 minutes about how he's better at my job than I am at his. But anyway, also, sir, I apparently, we have a new officer who's being brought over from the Victoria, who is going to assist us again at the Grand Admiral's order. I have him standing outside at the moment since I won.
Anyone we know?
It's one Captain now, Pend. He used to be with the Kismet, I believe. He's the one who brought the Victoria in. And it's Admiral.
Adler was supremely interested in him.
I can't imagine why. I've heard reputation he's all fire and brimstone. Just seems to be any other officer, really. But then again, he's no engineer, so I'm not sure why I would care about him otherwise.
How is he promoted off of the Kismet? What are the details on that?
Well, apparently, from what I was told, the commander Penn at the time helped kidnap and arrest Admiral Trailblazer, who has come here to investigate the station, and apparently he knows about the conspiracy, so that's not great news. But apparently Commander Penn has detained him, and he gave over the ship. Unfortunately, during the exchange, the takeover, the engine was damaged, hence why I was sent over. So the Grand Admiral, in a grand gesture of nepotism, decided to promote him for turning over the ship instead of just giving him a medal.
Well, if I need to deal with her or the Kismet, he would be useful.
Apparently he's had a personal meeting with the Grand Admiral. And when she says that, you've heard what happens when people go there. If they meet her one-on-one, they come out far more loyal than any officer ever could, but they lose all the fire that they have.
Well, so much for him being useful in any more capacity than bait.
Oh, it gets better, Lord
Well,
Captain. It would.
While she's speaking, I'm gonna look over the pad to try to figure out what is interesting about the Victoria.
And you see the specs of the Victoria. And its special abilities.
Ensign,
Sir?
start setting up. Tell the bridge to start setting up calls. I need to talk with those who share our thinking. This is going to force me to start moving.
I would like to remind you. I would like to point out, sir, that Captain Pend has orders for us from the Grand Admiral. What should we do with him and his orders?
Let me determine if there's any life left in him.
She nods. All right, sir. I'll start contacting our people.
We have at most a day before we need to move. If they repair this, we lose.
Yeah.
Once you tell the bridge, go ahead and start working on what kind of volatile material you're going to need to handle this.
Aye, sir.
Show him in on your way out.
Will do, sir. The door opens and Pen, you see Ensign Altera step out of the ready room. The captain will, the Lord Commodore will see you now.
Thank you, Ensign. That'll be all.
Sir?
Your orders, Captain?
My orders? Imaginary voice in my head?
He'll actually have. My question is, does Pend actually want to pass on Aslan's orders, or does he want to try to resist?
Depends on what the orders are.
And actually, in gamely, Starex, Pen actually visibly pauses for a second, like he's thinking. Which this happens to people who've been touched. It takes a little time for them to kind of come to. Because if they were eager to do the job, they wouldn't need to have a visit from the admiral.
While he's thinking, I just pour some wine and have some of lunch. Like, I assume I already had it and I was already eating it. And now I'm getting back to it now that I'm not being interrupted and he's gone catatonic.
Oh boy.
Okay. Fair enough. I shall attempt to resist the orders.
Oh no. Oh.
I mean, you saw this happening. Come on.
I know. It's an opposed roll.
Of course
It is presence plus command.
Do I still have the role of a captain, or is my ability changed?
You still have the role of captain, yeah.
Okay. I wanted to know if he needs it, if I can give him determination.
You have the dual roles effectively of captain slash fleet captain, because you're a highly ranked captain now, a commodore. Which that power is just the admiral's power, so don't worry about it.
Forget, are Commodore? I feel like we've recently had this conversation. Are Commodores like still a thing?
No, the rear admirals took their place. Rear admiral lower half is commodore in Starfleet parlance. Commodore is an old-fashioned term now. It makes people sound really important.
That is, unless you're in the Starfleet Coast Guard, I guess. They probably
Yeah, something like that.
So I'm going to give you a threat to proc bold.
I'll spend that threat back.
And I'd like to spend 2 momentum.
I will spend 2 threat.
Can I sense with telepath what's happening?
Yes, this is the thing that it's when people try to resist the control mechanism. Most people don't bother because it hurts. Because if they fail, they physically take pain and it could kill them. And most people either die instantly or they learn their place. Pinned here is trying to resist. So whether he's being foolish or he's strong-minded, you're about to find out.
Can I use composure as a focus?
You can, yes.
I'll reroll that 0. So that's 5 momentum, I believe.
4? I think it's 4. Because that's 6 to 2.
Oh, she's actively maintaining it. So yeah, you get it. Darn it. How'd you whiff on this?
That's so evil, Grinning.
Where was this roll last episode?
I was gonna say, I love how there was the thing where it was like, I want to resist this, and he's like, oh no, this is gonna go badly.
But you know, so Pend, yeah, you are able to resist the. You can not say what I'm telling you to say. You can say what you want to a point. And I'll let you. I'll let you know when you have to roll again.
Okay. Commodore, it's a pleasure to see you again.
And you? I hope you and the Kismet are well these days.
Well, as you can see, I am no longer a member of the Kismet.
Well, good luck in your new role.
Yes, I'm here to give you some orders. Are you ready to receive?
Go ahead.
You are to take the Tian'an men on patrol. Intel suggests is a starship en route to Narendra. You are to turn it away. Combat is not authorized. Understood?
Yeah, I'm gonna have you roll again.
Can I get a sense of whether he was trying to deceive me?
Give me insight plus command. Actually, it's on you, Pen. Which one do you want to resolve first? Starix's roll or the roll against the control mechanism?
I'll let Starrex go first to see if he realizes I'm trying to lie before it kicks in.
Okay, it's opposed in this case because I imagine you're trying to deceive him.
Well, yes and no, because I'm just kind of going up the message he gave me.
Yeah.
Maybe opposed with an advantage?
I'd say that, yeah.
I don't think I have any relevant focuses, so I'm going to spend... I'll just spend 1 momentum.
One threat, got it. Whoops, oh no. There we go.
Oh, is Starrex spending threat?
I spent 1 momentum.
Which is, you pull from the threat pool for now.
Oh, I did not realize that.
Can I use Poker Face, considering I am lying?
Yeah.
I will spend 1 threat and 2 momentum. Or give you 1 threat and 2 momentum.
Wow, I can't spell.
And this is news.
So the Kismet runs to a black hole. Wait, what am I giving myself momentum for? Freaking, I'm confusing myself.
Oh, oh my god.
Generate 3 momentum.
Wow.
You think these are legit orders?
Okay.
Now I need to try and not lose my goddamn mind.
How many dice are you buying?
I'll give you 1 threat. And I will spend, I think it's 5 momentum.
Yeah, you can do that. Oh man.
Go
I'm not increasing anything.
I'm going. Is composure still available? Considering I'm still trying to resist.
Yep.
Big money, no whammies.
One, two, three, four, 5 momentum gained.
Okay. That's about right.
Yay! I've not lost my mind yet.
Continue. I had to spend 2 threat to make that happen.
Okay. So yes, these are the orders from Aslan herself.
Well, Captain Pind, I can assure you that the Tiananmen will be jumping to action shortly, and I greatly hope that when we engage in our mission, you will be of assistance.
Unfortunately, I have other engagements here in the station.
How unfortunate.
Indeed. Well, for now, I wish you well with your patrol. Hopefully nothing goes wrong.
Why would you say that?
Am I excused, Commodore?
He pauses and is thinking. If you could wait here a moment, I'll be right back. And I'm gonna walk out onto the bridge. Number one, get me a security detail and the doctor.
Aye, sir.
At the devil.
Aye, sir.
Pin's about to throw hands again.
Give me a present security difficulty of 1.
Starfleet protocols?
Yeah. I mean, in effect, they are, right?
Hey.
Would you like to add to threat or to momentum? You're choosing now, and if you add to it, that's what you're using until you add again.
In fact, I'm not going to make that decision yet. I'm going to ask to spend it on the advantage that the security officers have type 3s.
Fair enough.
Ooh, tricky.
I should feel honored.
Tricky. Tricky Starix.
In quick order, a team of security comes onto the bridge, type 3s in hand. Commodore.
Chief, the officer on the other side of that door has some kind of as yet unidentified mental interference, and I fear it could compromise the security of the ship. Take him into custody, and Doctor, I need you to remove his mental impairments.
The doctor blinks. Looks like they're going to say something like, I can't, or how the heck am I supposed to do that? It just closes their mouth and nods. Commodore, I will do it, sir.
In an attempt to give the doctor an advantage in the future, I will say, Doctor, the life of this officer is going to be very important to me in about 6 hours, and it's going to influence a lot on our success in our next mission.
So don't screw this up. Got it.
You wouldn't be my doctor if I thought you would.
Sir,
I'll step to the side of the door and give the chief the signal to go.
doctor will let them go first.
Just,
That's why charge in there after them.
Before they enter, can I just message you very quickly?
Go ahead and message me, because I have to cut back to you anyway. Well, I mean, okay. So, Lord steps aside. Some people walk in, and combat begins.
Oh no.
Oh no.
As the moment they step through, Penn's drawing his is trying to clear his weapon.
Did he ever
Penn-
get his old pistol back, or is he
Who called it?
phaser now?
He has it.
Oh shoot.
Wait, that's the idea, yes.
I like it.
Well,
So I assume they're all in relatively close proximity, correct?
You're all within close range of each other.
Yeah. So I'm going to be doing area and hitting them all.
Oh.
So that's just I'm
God.
pre-calling that.
Mhm.
So I've got focus and sidearm.
Difficulty is going to be it's control security difficulty 3 because you're in close range of each other.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll give you 1 threat. I'll spend 2 momentum.
Can you spend momentum for this?
Well, I mean, it's not helping my side, is he?
Fair.
I'm confused.
I don't think
know
it's helping
who-
any side here.
I'll
Yeah,
re-roll a
yourself.
little bit.
I don't know who I'm supposed to be rooting for anymore.
So that's 1 momentum.
neither.
gain.
That is 1 momentum gained. Roll damage. So you're presumably you're hitting the lead guy.
Yeah, the lead guy, then spreading it across the 3 of them, basically.
Yeah. Yeah, you're gonna need some effects for that to happen. So
Like that.
yeah, that'll do it.
Mm.
Does area have or does it do that damage to everybody? I forget.
It does it to everyone.
It does it to everybody.
So you hear Lord Starx, you hear rapid fire shots from into your office, and you can hear thud.
Oh boy.
Commodore Starrex, may I have a word, please?
Oh boy.
Lord Starx, are we still in combat? Because or are we out of combat at the moment? Because it's your turn either way.
Oh my god.
And you hear him call out from the office to so's the whole bridge because they hear the the fire, the shots, and they look at you like as they start reaching for their phasers because someone's shooting in there.
Can I use a minor real quick? I don't know. Without like using up my whole action to see if the guys on the ground look like they're dead or not.
In effect, I'll let you kind of like peek in real quick. Door opens briefly,
They're just
and
unconscious.
you can hear them groaning on the ground, and as they're kind of nursing what look to be stun wounds. I won't even charge you any action for that because you're just looking through the door briefly, like because the door just opens automatically. Like, peek. Okay, that's what's going on in there.
Care to explain your actions, Commodore, or would you care to speak?
Oh God. Would you care to explain, or would you care to explain? Is what you just said.
Yeah, I want him to explain.
Ah, catch 22.
We can temporarily go out of combat.
Okay.
I'll lean in and say, I'm either going to rid you of your mother or I'm going to kill you. If I can rid you of your mother, then you can have whatever you want and do whatever you want. I don't care. But if you side with her, I'm going to kill you.
So you're not with the Tripolity?
The Tripolity is not yet with me.
But assuming you don't follow it or believe in it, correct?
You would be incorrect.
So you wish for this to happen?
Not in the way it is.
Then, by all means, explain. Because sending 3 heavily armed people...
They were meant to prevent you from killing my doctor.
I have no intentions of killing your doctor. I am in full capacity.
I was not aware that you didn't shoot first.
When 3 armed people come into a confined space, that is not a very accommodating situation. Would you not agree, Commodore?
You'll have to forgive me. I'm very protective of my doctor.
Well, as long as the doctor doesn't do anything aggressive, I have no reason to harm them.
Oppose presence command as it tries to get control again.
I'll give you 1 threat,
I'm probably going to spend it.
and I'll spend 3 momentum. No, was it 2? Yes, 2.
Okay. I'll spend 2 as well then.
Composure?
Yes.
Ooh, man, that focus is coming in all the handy.
I'm going to roll determination.
Oh, what value?
Throughout the handbook, or fuck it, I'm penned.
Yeah, I'll take the second one.
Yes, that is
It's
an
a good
actual
value.
talent.
It's so true.
Hey.
So gain 3 momentum.
Yep.
While
Oh, why didn't you just say so?
While admittedly this modification she has done is trying to take hold, as you can probably tell, I'm a little bit of a force of nature, wouldn't you agree?
Yes, and I think if you were to let my doctor try, they could relieve you of that burden, and your force of nature could be better put to use.
Well, that's possible. I have things I want to do myself. I'd rather not be...
I
Tied
don't
down.
need to control you. You're free to leave as long as you're not working for her.
I'm not working for anyone. I'm here to do my own goals.
The more the better.
Then you still need to go out on patrol.
That's not going to be happening. You have forced my hand with that ship of yours.
And by what are you referring to?
You have given the worst possible person the most powerful ship that I have ever seen.
Which is conveniently damaged.
I intend to make it more so.
Don't worry, that's already taken care of. while I have something to do on the station, I need you to play along.
I'll step out in front of the door. I'm going to be straight with you then, because although you can take down 3 security guards, you're not going to be able to take down 500.
Are you willing to bet your ship on that?
In fact, you can have the ship if you want it. I'm not about to need it in 6 hours.
What's your plan?
Removing your mother from power.
What? And replace her with yourself?
Only as a go-between, not as a dictator.
And I assume you want nothing to do with these crystals, correct?
If I could get rid of the whole planet, I would. Or at least if I could hide it from human view. And he does put an emphasis on humans, as if like to diss humans.
Hey, Aslan's an Andorian.
Well, as it so happens, I'm here to also prevent that, but slightly different.
Why don't you leave Narendra and the polity to me, and I will leave the crystals to you.
Lord Commodore.
Who's
Says
that?
someone from the bridge.
If it's not important, hold it.
A Galaxy class is approaching our location. I think they want to talk to us.
Oh no.
I need you to just shoo them away to play the part.
If I hold off and do not and get them to leave, will you be out of my way without destroying Narendra or compromising the polity, other than if it compromises your mother?
All I'm here for is to render as much of this tripolity and its connection to the Calcut unable to work.
As long as you leave the organization itself alone and you focus on the Calcut, I'll agree, but I want you to agree to those terms.
I can agree, as long as you don't get in my way either.
You have 6 hours. I would like it if you would let my doctor help you.
Understood. And your orders were to destroy that ship, but I'd prefer if you didn't.
I'm not here to kill Starfleet citizens, or Federation citizens. I'm hoping to rid them of being, in effect, Starfleet citizens.
And what citizens are you planning to make them?
I envision a future in which there is an organization which handles disputes between the 3 major powers, so that the 3 major powers do not need their own fleets.
Well, I'd very much like that, but for now, let's have the focus of the crystals and Aslan. I would prefer to take her alive as a prisoner.
I have to kill her. If she is around, she will come back stronger, and I will lose. I have 1 attempt at a palace coup.
Well, if that's the case, leave it to me then.
I will meet you in her location on the station in 6 hours.
Understood.
And if you don't I will kill her, and I will kill you.
Well, you look at the people on the ground. I would very much like to see you try.
Lord Commander, they've raised their shields.
Oh.
Lord Commodore.
The doctor is waiting for you. I have business to attend to. Doctor, could you send one of your people into my ready room? The chief has had an issue.
And just a quick check-in, Pen, before I end the scene. Do you actually let the doctor try to help you?
As long as I get the idea she's trying to make sure I keep my mind, then yes.
Okay.
Yeah, my orders to the doctor, if I need to clarify, are just to free him of Aslan's control and then let him loose.
Oh, no. Well, I mean, we'll see how that goes when we get back to you. Lose one momentum as you go to a new scene. Oops, nope, you're not there yet.
What was I gonna say?
Actually, it'll be here.
Oh, we totally skipped over that. You're not gonna like this conversation.
We're gonna flash back to that. Yep. So, Captain Kiddick.
Yes.
There's a bit of time before the debrief with Warrant Officer Lieutenant Myth. So Joan and yourself have taken a moment to kind of get something to eat, and instead of going all the way down to the mess hall and then going up to the briefing, you just got some food and you're having it there in the briefing room.
Absolutely.
Joan's plate seems to be a very fanciful dish of various cultures by the look of it. As much as is healthy for a officer to have, as it were, but it's still kind of there's no real theme. The polite way to say it, it's eclectic. The more accurate term is smushed together. I think the culinary term for it is fusion, but you know, it's being generous.
Kiddick's eating a
Chinese
nice salad
and
and essentially drinking a martini to lunch.
So, how's your day been, Captain?
Well, apart from being very long and very strenuous for being me, and yeah, it's been great so far. How has your day been?
It's been. Kind of stares at his food for a second.
Rough.
Busy.
Yes, the polite word. Anything I can do for you? Officer to officer, that is.
Yeah. He puts on his fork and kind of he starts rubbing the Ryzian symbol on his forehead like he's having struggle coming up with the words.
It touches their own essentially Y shape in the forehead. Just in unison.
It's there's a lot I would like to ask you, Captain. A lot that I need help with, but I haven't been cleared to ask for it. So I'm, without breaking my orders, I'm doing the work of 5 people on my own.
Do you have the potential to reassign someone?
That's actually what I tend to look up after this meeting. I have to see what my options are. It's I I've never had to do this before, and I'm doing the equivalent of taking command of a ship, but not exactly. If that makes any sense. Yeah. So
No, I get it.
yeah, he eats some of his food.
I have taken over 2 commands uh, for short terms in during the war, but yeah, probably not as bad as this.
I certainly hope not, honestly. But we'll see what Grennan says. He's been briefed to a degree, but I haven't been authorized. He might feel the need to tell you, but
He's
I'm not
allowed.
one to keep secrets from captains if I can, and I'm telling you as much as I am allowed to tell you, if that
Yes.
makes any sense.
Might I ask, is it Grennan who is being deposed?
Oh, if only it were that simple. No, it's a little more complicated than that.
Hmm.
It's not you either, if that's what you're wondering.
No, I was thinking that we could talk about that as well, since you wanted the salamander and me for 10th full time.
Is that at all possible?
The salamander is a purely diplomatic ship. She won't do well in the 10th with the high warp at all hours a day and explosive crystals and whatnot. I, on the other hand, am more equipped for that sort of thing, and I'd be honored to join the 10th full time.
Okay. I'll have to keep that in. I will be sure to uh inform the appropriate authority. You can give me insight command when he says that, because he responded to that in a weird way that doesn't make a whole lot of sense given your conversation.
All right.
Difficulty of 1, because he's not exactly lying; he's just being evasive.
And the row was
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Insight command.
I have cold reading
Okay.
as a talent. Not
You,
sure
you
what activates it.
if you succeed at this roll, you get a free question.
All right. Focus in persuasion.
Yeah, because you could probably your character might be like, hey, you can tell me, it's fine. I'm gonna go blabbing it to everyone who I talk to.
Rolling 2 dice.
You got the one. What would normally be said would be he would inform the admiral, or he'd pass it up the chain of command. He said, "I'll tell it to the appropriate authorities," as if he was unsure who he needed to talk to.
Oh. Are you? Pardon me if this is out of line, but do you know who your boss is?
Um,
Really command you?
I am not at liberty to answer that question, Captain.
I thought as much, and I feel sorry for you.
He smiles and nods like, yeah, yeah.
Kiddick's gonna put a hand on his shoulder. I know.
around then is when a quartet of people start walking in.
I think
I
I've
can get
lost the
them-
map. I'm gonna
Hmm?
restart. I'm gonna restart Roll20. I lost the map.
Okay. I'm going to quickly flash back to Grennan
I was
anyway.
going to say, Grennan walks in with a. I like to think they do the thing where they do a cut where, like, Grennan has this hard jawline look on his face as the camera pans around him. It pans back to the two of them. Does a neat camera trick.
And in that moment, before we cut scenes, change scenes, it's not change scenes, same scene. Sorry. He kind of looks at the captain guiltily. So back when Joan opened up with the most terrible lead-in ever to news. I got a message, Captain, from Strategic Operations. As you likely know, they're they're our Strategic Operations officer. They're the one who, usually, they're the ones who give you your orders on where you're going and what your mission profiles are, and giving you the strategic updates.
Out with
Hey.
it. What is it?
On horizon, we spied fire. We dared to dream. The dream they were the lights of home. Instead, we saw a city ablaze. We dared to dream. To dream we could cheat our fate. Our hopes afire. We dared to dream. To dream we'd soon see the dawn.
Do I recognize that?
Give me insight plus con difficulty of 5. This is a very classified code he's reciting.
Oh, it's a code.
Yeah.
Use
Okay.
theater.
Okay. Hang on. What did you say it is?
Insight con, sorry.
Ugh, God. Damn it. Okay.
Well, you have lots of momentum to spend.
Yep, I'm gonna spend 3. And just hope to God I get really lucky. Hang on. Law focus.
At complication,
I will take it. What's the complication range now?
1 to 2.
Okay, yeah, it's like I gotta take it because I need something.
Yeah.
Nope.
You recognize it as a code phrase, a rather long code phrase, but it doesn't mean anything to you. Or either you were told it once and you've forgotten, or it is so obscure that it's not something you'd ever have been told.
And translation.
Oh, our intelligence officer never got around to that. That's great. Oh, this is just wonderful. He starts pacing around. I mean, I'm hanging on to classified material, and I can't. Sorry, Captain. I'm very frustrated.
So am I. My exo is off God knows where, doing God knows what. No one will tell me what the hell is going on. I don't know who I can trust anymore. And now we've got whatever this is.
All right. You know what? I don't care if I got court-martialed. I don't care anymore. Just you have to keep this to yourself. All right.
And he
Because
does
if no one gets the code, sir, they are not supposed to know. But right now, you're the only captain that I think I can tell, and theoretically, you're the one I'm supposed to be telling this to. But anyway, sorry for raising my voice. I'm just. I tried to contact Starbase 21 for clarification on our orders, where we were going next, where they wanted us to be, and I got an automated message from the strategic operations officer's console, not from the officer himself. The code indicates that Starbase 21 has been severely damaged, and the Admiral is now currently hospitalized and in critical condition. It also indicates that our chain is currently disrupted. So I would advise you to not spread that around, Captain, but I need to tell somebody, because right now I can tell you that I have an operative that I'm not sure you're clear to even know about operating in the Shackleton who has no support network. I have myself here with no Admiral staff to contact and no orders to give you. And frankly, Captain, I don't know if we're going to get shot at the moment we get back to Federation space because, hey, there's a conspiracy of Starfleet officers who are out to take over everything. Because, you know, it's not like the war wasn't over or anything. And he just goes on like he's losing it. He's really upset now.
Hey. Don't stay with me.
Give me presence command. Difficulty of 2.
I'm going to spend that last momentum. Team dynamics?
Sure.
I'm going to re-roll that. Hang on. Both of them are good, because I rolled Insight Con instead of Presence Command, which is a 17.
That'd be 3 hits instead, actually.
So
you got a momentum.
Yes, we just
You got
hit
the
it
momentum back, rather. Eventually, you're able to get him to calm down and stop just yammering on because he's starting to just talk and talk and talk. Sorry, Captain.
Okay. So we're currently on our own then.
Yes, and
Well,
the only authority I have is Fleet Liaison Powers, which is a fancy way of saying I pass messages from the Admiralty to you. So I have no messages to pass to you right now.
Great. Well, I have spoken with another captain who seems to be somewhat in the know on fleet matters, Captain Haggard.
Oh no! If our chain's been disrupted, that means the intelligence officer isn't updating Haggard anymore. If we learn anything new, we can't tell them. The code changes. The last code I had was a one-off. I needed to get another one from the intel officer. That's why I was calling. Unless they call us, there's no way we're going to hear from them.
Well, I told her to reach out to me in case she learned anything new. So, I guess all we have to do is hope that she learns something new.
Yeah.
But if we do get in touch with her again, what do we tell her?
We recite the code. If she knows it, she's supposed to know what that code means. If she doesn't, if you like right now, I've already breached protocol. I have a court martial in my future, and I might not keep my command anymore. Not command, but my rank.
And the captain, this is such an inopportune time. He laughs and he says, well, I know what that's like.
Well, I'm glad you're finding levity, Captain.
I have to keep laughing. Or else I have to keep laughing. That way, at least I'm the only one who's smiling.
Right. But yes, I would advise you that if I would not breach as you did, because it would constitute sharing classified secrets, and I've decided to take the calculated risk. Because as far as I know, you're not on the other side. So, but
Right.
Haggard is not part of our fleet, so I don't have any files on her beyond the fact that the intelligence officer thinks we should talk to her. So, or that was the last thing he told me anyway.
Okay. That's All right.
Oh, and we
So-
have a briefing in about an hour, and I need to talk to Captain Kiddick to see if I can get them to join the 10th, which I don't know if that's going to happen. And if they say yes, I don't have any authorization to transfer until we get back to Earth. But I'm not even sure if we can at this point.
Right.
Yeah.
And then there's the matter of the intelligence off the Romulan scouting ship.
Yeah.
Captain just lets out a deep breath. So what's the play?
Well, we still have to debrief the officers you got back. We need to know what they know. We do need to look at that ship, and we need to get it. We need to get it back to Federation space and get it to our engineers, either at Starbase 21 or at ESD, because that's where 10th engineers that we have access to would be.
Right. Captain Haggard sounded like she was heading for Narendra Station soon. We might not have time.
What are you suggesting, Captain?
I'm saying that it's entirely possible that we might have to take the fight to them sooner rather than later.
I don't mean to tell you your job, Captain, but we did have a standing. You have a standing order not to head in the direction of Dorinda until otherwise authorized. If you go there, you're going and contravening. You're contravening a directive.
Right.
I'm not sure who's going to yell at you because right now, but someone will.
Right. Now, what can you tell me about this? Now, what can you tell me about this operative that's currently operating near the Shackleton? You might not necessarily be able to tell me their name, but could you at least tell me about what they're doing there?
No, sir.
Okay. You can't tell me anything about them.
No, sir. I was given explicit instructions not to tell you.
I want to see if the captain can work backwards from that. Like, and see if he can, like, piece together from Jones' expression that it's someone that Grennan knows.
Insight security difficulty 5, because he's not
Damn
really
it.
giving you anything. But maybe you're incredibly insightful and you'll figure it out on your own without him saying a word.
It's the way he specifically said, I'm not allowed to tell you.
Yeah, like that was the most help he could give you. It was like, that's the most I can say. If I say any more, I'm already in trouble.
Yeah. What did you say? Insight security?
Insight
said-
security.
Ugh. I don't have a focus.
Just give me some threat.
All the threat. I mean, do what you like.
Stop that. I will give you 2 threat and I will spend our momentum. Screw it. This is a long shot. Nope.
I mean,
You
could
get that he's
determine
trying to hint, but he's being so he's giving so
Vague.
little. There's nothing to hang your hat on.
Okay. Well, given everything else that's going on, I'm gonna find out eventually, and I'm sure when that happens, I'm not gonna like it.
I would suppose not, sir.
All right. Well, I suppose we have a briefing to get ready for, and I have a report to put together, and oh god, I'm gonna have to get that to Haggard if she calls us back.
Right. I'll take my meeting and with your permission, I'd like to meeting with Captain Kiddick in the briefing room before the meeting, and I'm thinking of actually turning it into a working lunch. Because, frankly, I haven't sat down to eat for the last, all shift, honestly, sir.
And then you hear like the stomach rumble.
I would advise you get something to eat too, sir.
Yeah, yeah. All I've had is and he holds up the empty mug, just a mug of hot cocoa.
With your permission, sir, I'd like to get to it.
Yeah, very well.
He nods and walks. As he walks, he kind of drops the pad that he read from and kind of blinks, like, "Oh, whoops!" and he kind of picks it up again, stares at it for a second, and then nods to you and leaves.
Captain sighs, and he's gonna pick up those reports from Captain Ray again and continue reading. There's a lot in there.
And to complete our flashback, because it gets worse, hey, Dr. Efrix.
Yes, I'm not writing a report or anything. It's fine.
So Solari's last thing she said to you over Barter's body, unconscious body, should clarify, sorry. She said, "We're running out of time."
So what do you propose? Take a ship?
Can we talk in your office briefly about this? She kind of looks at your staff.
Yep.
Would you mind turning on the... She points to the door.
Privacy. Yep. I'll turn on the privacy stuff.
If you hear a faint buzzing noise of white noise in the air.
Mm-hmm. Last time I did this, Hi, Jen. Knock me out. It's fine.
Oh, what do you think is happening? No, I'm just kidding.
Sorry.
Daring security opposed. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my god. I mean,
Oh
my god, she's a body snatcher. She's gonna look just like me.
Efrix. We are... I got a message from the Midnight Captain, and I reached out to feel what he described. The ocean's getting worse, and it's getting worse far faster than we anticipated. Which means that the Cowcat are being made worse at a speed that we didn't think our enemies were capable of. The last time we felt this level of disruption, the Weimar Futury Corner was in flames.
Efrix kind of closes her eyes, takes a deep breath. All right.
We need to get to Cowcat 2 and stop whatever they're doing over there.
I agree. You mentioned, was it her that mentioned myth, or was it Adler that mentioned myth? It was her, wasn't it?
It was her, yeah.
Yeah. With Varder indisposed, should we bring Lieutenant Myth in?
You do what you think you have to get us where we need to go. I've done what I can for Varder. This disruption is going to hurt all empaths and sonically sensitive people.
The closer we get to Cowcat 2, is it going to get worse?
Yes, and it's going to be triple so for Varder since he has crystal in his body.
Mm-hmm.
So if this gets any worse, I don't know what the crystals are going to do. And I don't know if I can keep them. If I stay near him, I might be able to keep him and protect the ship from him. But eventually, I won't be able to do it on my own.
If we put him in stasis like we did with Varro, would that be enough?
If we do that, I don't know if he'll wake up. He needs to be fighting it constantly on his own. All I'm doing is helping him.
You probably don't know much. What if we put him under the sound dampener? The dampening field, sorry. Yeah.
It'll buy us time, but it will isolate him. He won't be able to leave the field, I would imagine. Unless we can
imagine.
make it move with him.
We do have a portable one, but it's experimental. I mean, it's worked, but I'd rather see him confined to a space and relatively safe. He may like it, but
At the end
the other
of it all,
option is I go in and do surgery while we're traveling, but whether or not I'd be complete by the time we got there, I don't know. It's so integrated with the system, I don't even know if I could remove it all.
the thing is, Doctor, we might need that connection when we get there.
Mm.
We're going to need to... how do I put it in a way you can understand? Imagine in this ocean, scions generally are people who can swim in it, like you to water. But with the crystals or through other artifacts, imagine having a boat on the water.
Mhm.
He is now, well, fused with the boat, as disturbing as that sounds. And frankly, I need his buoyancy if I have any hope of diving into the ocean. I'm sorry if this is very unclear. It's hard to not. And
No,
if I
it's all right.
don't really want to, I really don't know how to mind meld. So, and I don't think that, I don't know what that would do to a Denobulan or to me.
I think I get the gist of it.
Oh, good. Glad one of us gets it. She kind of leans against, she leans in her chair like...
If we put him under the dampening field, it will be a shock to the system if we take him out, won't it? He won't have had time to adjust like he would if he was traveling.
Let me think. I suppose theoretically it would be similar. I've been told it's similar to if we don't ease him back in, it's like a deep sea diver who coming up to the surface. He might.
Exactly.
Although I don't know if that's precisely what will happen.
The psionic version of the bends. Yeah.
Yes, that's the word.
Damn it. Can't exactly ask his permission to do any of these things either. Ethically, that's another can of worms.
Well, he should wake up within the next few days. Now that I'm in sync with him, I should be able to have him regain control. But he's rather exhausted. So right now, as long as he gets good rest, he should wake up on his own.
At the very least, we need to talk to the captain.
Yeah. If we
I
need
know,
that.
I know he's unhappy with the orders as they are.
I will stay with Varder for now, if you don't mind. I'll try to help him as best I can and prepare him for waking.
Thank you.
As for rescuing Adler,
she's likely experiencing similar.
I can't feel her anymore.
Hmm.
So, hence why I'm prioritizing Calcat 2 over her, as much as I hate to do this, but I don't think I can save her anymore.
Maybe in saving the Calcat, we might yet save her.
That's my hope.
They are an amazing people. If anyone can do it. All right. You're gonna keep an eye on Varder. I'll talk to the captain.
Good luck, Doctor. I think we're both going to need it. And she'll stand and walk over to Varder. And we'll cut back to present. With Grinnin, shoot, Grinnin's not here.
I am the captain now.
I am still the captain.
We have like 3 or 4 captains on right now. Not the one we need though.
I'll actually cut over to a certain situation elsewhere.
Oh no.
I would say lose momentum, but don't worry about it.
There was no rolling, so it's fine.
Why do I feel that the music stopping is somewhat symbolic?
Well, someday the music stops for us all.
So, current location of everybody at the moment. We cut back to near Narendra Station. As the USS Ulysses has come into sensor range of the TNMN and the station. And, well, before approaching any closer, the standard procedure is to hail to let the people know that you're coming. The closest ship was the TNMN, which is a little bit away from the rest of the station at the moment. But the Ulysses is in effect at extreme range to the TNMN and the station. You can just see each other basically by your sensors alone. Haggard is aboard the Ulysses, of course. The Lord Starix is on the TNMN, and so is a certain Tellarite who is probably getting medical attention at the moment.
I guess in response to their hail, I tell the communications officer to tell them that the captain is on their way to the bridge, and I turn to my tactical officer and tell them to read me the captain of the Ulysses bio in 30 seconds or less.
Lord Starks, give me a presence command difficulty of 2. Assisted by your ship's computers plus command. Basically, you're getting your crew to help you get a profile on Haggard that's useful. Other than, they're a captain, they're over there. It's like, that's not helpful. Thanks for wasting 30 seconds.
Communications what?
A computer's command.
Computers command.
Hey, you got it. Haggard, what would you say would be a quick snapshot of Haggard?
Veteran officer, extensive. Started off was an explorer, and then during the Dominion War, made a very effective soldier. Has a lot of combat experience against the Cardassians, the Breen, the Dominion, Jem'Hadar, and highly decorated during the war. Considered one of kind of a Cisco-esque officer at this point. Tactically skilled, strategic thinker.
Did she take part in either the retaking of DS9 or the retaking of Beta's Head?
That was what, Second Fleet during the war?
For
the retaking of DS9 was almost anyone that was available.
Yeah, I think there was one fleet that couldn't get there, but I think it was Second Fleet that did that. I can find out real quick.
Oh, and of course, I'll note too, Starks, that the Ulysses shields are up. That's why it's a. Oh, you can't see
Okay.
the halos. I just forgot about that. Hold on. There you go. Now you can see.
Yeah,
them.
as a part of the Second Fleet, the Ulysses participated in the raid on Tauros 3, Operation Return, the unsuccessful attempts to liberate Beta Z, and the Battle of Cardassia, among others.
Okay, then in return, I will tell you that you might remember Starx. It may be unlikely because of the sheer number of ships that were in Operation Return, but it's possible. And if you did know him, you would have known him as the commanding officer of the USS Tiananmen Men, which was a Miranda class.
So not this Tiananmen.
No. Then he'll open the hail, being seated in the chair. This is Captain Starx of the USS Tiananmen Men.
And Haggard is leaned back in her chair, legs crossed, and an eyebrow kind of quirks at the captain rank. I was beginning to wonder if there was a problem aboard your ship, High Commissioner. It took some time for you to answer our hails, and is everything all right?
It is not, but it will be handled in the next 6 hours.
Well, that's enigmatic enough, I suppose. GM, did you get my question?
Yeah, I did. Just give me a moment.
Okay. And have our long-range scans, picked up anything about Narendra Station yet?
Roll for me your ship's crew, or the captain can roll. It is currently difficult. It's you rolled for NPC ships before, so I'd say it would be reason science if your captain's doing it. Difficulty of effectively 5 to get anything beyond there's a starbase out there, because you're really far away. You just barely detected the Tiananmen.
Oh, sorry, I've been talking on mute. Yeah, have 6 threat for 5 dice. Can I use a focus for the crew roll?
They're assumed to always have focus.
Okay.
Nice.
Freaking Ulysses crew. Well, I'm going to start filling the map. The stuff I'm putting in. This is stuff that the Ulysses is just learning about now. Let's put you over. No, stop. Put you over there.
While you're doing that, then, it's unfortunate, Captain Haggard, but I would have to ask you to leave the system. If you stay, there would be a lot of violence and a lot of good Starfleet officers would die. With your record, no doubt they might be on my side. If you come back in 6 hours, you can come back as a friend and there won't be any loss of life. Better make it 7 just to be careful.
Look at all the ships. That's an interesting request, High Commissioner. May I ask where Captain GM?
Oh, I didn't send you the thing.
May I ask where Captain Buchanan is? According to Starfleet's latest records, she,
sure.
he was the captain of the Tiananmen.
GM, do I know the answer to that?
Well, you're the High Commissioner. High Commissioners can take control of a ship if they believe if
In
it's
effect, he's still on the ship.
Oh, he's still there, yeah.
Okay.
Unless you put him off, like on some moon somewhere.
Due to the nature of our mission, he is serving in more of a first officer's capacity.
Unusual, but no more so than your revised title. I believe you're the first person to hold the High Commissioner positions in 80 years or so?
I feel titles will be switching around a lot in the next few hours. That's the kind of business I wish you to stay safe from.
And what is your mission, High Commissioner?
Everlasting peace.
And
A
world
consummation
peace.
devoutly to be wished, I'm sure, but perhaps you could be a little bit more specific.
You might know that even in our darkest hour, fighting the Dominion, we had to keep several major assets along the Romulan border, along the Klingon border, because their loyalty to us was never firmly established, and distrust runs high between the three of us. If someone could negotiate a de-escalation between the three of them, a permanent de-escalation, there would be no such distrust, and we would be much better prepared to handle external threats. In 6 hours, I will either be dead or I will be that person.
She kind of blinks a little bit agog at what she's hearing. One might describe that as delusions of grandeur, High Commissioner. And she kind of looks at the panel on her chair.
If you wish to remain in a quadrant that is constantly at war because Klingons are raiding, or the Tal Shiar is spying, or Starfleet intelligence has decided it's that time of the month, so they're going to go rogue again, then you can do that. But I will not be living in that universe anymore. I will not be living with Genesis devices, I will not be living with battle cruisers, and I will not be living with cloaking devices.
Well, as I understand it, our relations with the Klingon Empire, thanks to High Chancellor Martok and Ambassador Worf, have never been stronger.
I would ask the Kismet of that.
From what
Burn.
I've been told of your brief, even from Admiral Azalon, you seem to be going a bit beyond your portfolio, High Commissioner. I also noticed that the USS Victoria is docked at Narendra Station. How is Admiral Trailblazer?
Probably being tortured, but if you give me 6 hours, you can have him.
Wow.
Well, I beg your pardon. What are you
He
going to
doesn't.
accomplish in 6 hours?
I would like you to be able to witness it with fresh eyes rather than some already formed opinions.
Well, it's getting a bit late in the day for that, High Commissioner.
Do you intend to intervene?
I have orders to contact Admiral Trailblazer, and you tell me that he is being tortured. You're not leaving me much choice.
If you attempt to contact him, you will die. That fleet is protecting him. Or they're protecting the control of him. If you give me 6 hours, you can leave with him without any bloodshed.
Do I think that at least Starex believes he's telling me the truth?
Starex is, as far as you can tell, he's being as blatant and honest as he can be. He has no interest in lying to you.
GM, can I make a roll to see if I remember Starex from operations during the war?
To what end?
To give me a better baseline on him as an officer that I've served with, to kind of connect my personal experience to our back and forth here.
We'll call it Insight Command Difficulty 2, and the ship can help you with Computers Command.
Okay, I do not think I have a focus here. I will give you a bold for, threat for bold. Blah.
There you go. English is a hard language, I know.
It really is.
Gain of momentum.
Very good.
So what's so?
Do you want me to tell him?
Yeah.
Okay. You'll know from the war that you probably ran across him a couple of times, although you might have never met him in person. You'll know that as one of the few Beta Z captains present when Beta Z was taken back, he was handsomely rewarded by the government on Beta Z. You'll know that he preferred strategies which conceal his forces. You'll know that he is a very big proponent at victory at any cost, and that discipline is the key to victory. And you'll know that he was arrested and sentenced to a prison sentence for disobeying a lawful order, conduct unbecoming a Starfleet officer, reckless endangerment of Starfleet personnel, and reckless conduct resulting in loss of equipment when he destroyed a Genesis device. And his claim was that Starfleet was not capable of holding on to a device without allowing it to become used as a weapon of mass destruction.
Fair enough. That's a lot of good information right there. Not to mention you have a fleet in back of you.
Which actually might be out. You might think that's out of character given his penchant for hiding his cards.
Right. I was just thinking the same thing. Where are, GM, the closest elements of, or how far away, I should say, because that's really what I'm asking, are the closest elements of the current, I think it was the Second Fleet, that the Ulysses is part of?
Let me take a quick look, because I have an idea where they are.
Second Deep Space Exploration Survey. Yes. And how far away is the Kismet?
Theoretically? Hold
Yeah.
on.
A metric shit ton away.
So, just to give you an idea, Ranger Station's here.
Yes.
They are here.
Good lord, what's the Kismet doing way over there?
And they need to cross.
We've been told to stay away.
Ooh, they're like at least a week away.
Was it 9.97 or something like that, guys?
Yeah, that's just cruising.
Yeah, that's
that's
fine.
our
They're
cruising
not,
speed.
I thought they were closer. They're not.
We can push 9.997 or something though. Like, yeah.
So
Yeah, do that math.
there you go.
22 hours. The above times 4, right? Okay, fair enough.
Is it now that we revealed that the Kismet has a spore drive?
Yeah, the Victoria got here because it got the cheat, because it did time jumping stuff and could get here. It took a certain, relative to the rest of the universe, it took the same amount of time. It's just the rest of the universe just stayed still for a while.
Mm-hmm.
For 2 momentum, yes.
2 momentum for the information?
For the
Or-
advantage.
For the advantage. Yeah, I'll spend that momentum.
So yeah, while you were talking, someone was already making the calculations ahead, and they kind of figured out what they were looking for. So they kind of they just hold, they hand you a pad to let you know, like, oh, while you were talking, here's what we were doing.
6 hours, you say, StarX.
6 hours, and we can have dinner on the promenade. I will advise you, the status of forces won't be changing. It's the command structure they fall under that will be changing. But you will be able to retrieve your admiral and If you have other limited goals, I will help you to achieve them.
I don't like this. I don't like it at all. But I'm not a fool when it comes to seeing how the numbers play out.
You know, it would be what you might not expect, Admiral. If you, Captain, maybe Admiral, one, you would find it possibly puzzling, but if you did decide to intervene, it would be you and me against the world, and we would both die.
You've gone strange, Starx. All right, you'll have your 6 hours, but I will be back. And, High Commissioner, bear in mind, you no longer have the right to the title of Captain. Haggard out. And we will warp out.
Starx to Altera.
Altera here, sir. Go ahead.
How many were we able to get?
5. I was able to pull some strings with some friends of yours, but I didn't dare ask for more. It's the station's starting to get a little suspicious.
Everyone to their, on all the ships, to their transporter rooms. We are going to divide the station into 5. Tell each section their 5. Tell them armories, transporter rooms, engineering sections, and give you and me and the Tiananmen men the command section. We're going to be leaving only transporter operators on board the ships. We won't be needing them.
All right, sir.
Type 3 phasers and personal shields all around. Thanks, Altera. Starx out.
And we cut back to the briefing room of the Kismet as the battle for Narija Station slowly gets underway. Don't worry, everything's fine, everybody. Everything's fine, and there'll be no complications with what's going on at all.
Of course not.
I thought pen
Yeah.
would be the complication.
We're great. Nothing's wrong. Everything's
We're fine here.
fine.
How
are you?
Oh, for the love of God. Haggard. I'll deal with that in a second.
Uh-oh.
So yes, we're in the nice and peaceful and very civil conference room where everything's normal.
Fuck you.
No, but yes.
Wasn't I who said it.
Grennan, Makarov, Efrix, and Myth have stepped in. Kiddick was comforting a very upset Joan, and this is the moment. And this is the debrief of what. This is the debriefing session with Myth and Makarov to figure out what the heck happened to them. And yeah, Captain Kiddick is here, of course, because Captain Kiddick is part of the mission, so they probably would want to know what's going on.
Yeah.
I presume everyone takes their seats.
Mm-hmm.
Is Brennan back yet?
Still on mute.
You are muted currently, Grennan.
Oh, God damn it. Have I been muted this whole time?
Probably.
Yeah. Yeah.
Here, Captain. Here, boy.
He's a good captain.
No, please don't chase after the cat.
I am giving.
Brendan, leave that cat alone.
Oh my God. I didn't even say anything. I hate all of you.
Hey, I didn't even say anything. What did I do?
I've literally been muted this whole time. What the hell, guys?
Killed an entire people for fun. You know.
Well, we didn't know you were trying to say anything.
Yes. Everyone takes their seat. Joan takes the liberty of taking it. He kind of takes his tray and puts it in the replicator to recycle it. He does not instruct Kiddick to do that because, well, you outrank him. He can't tell you to do that.
Kiddick's gonna continue to eat their salad and drink their, like 8-ounce martini.
Jesus.
Oh my god.
They can take their liquor. What do you want?
Effort shoot a disapproving look about the alcohol.
It's fine. It's synthol.
Lieutenant Myth, Warrant Officer Makarov, it's very good to have you both back. We were all worried about you.
I've had an eventful period of time.
From what we can gather. Now, do you mind explaining how you came to come into possession of a Romulan scout ship?
Certainly, Captain. It all began when the Kismet was unexpectedly... Well, I'm not sure I quite have the right words to describe the experience. My memory of it is somewhat foggy. I hope you'll forgive me for that.
You, with your perfect recall, is unable to remember the attack on the Kismet?
Correct. The last thing I remember of the Kismet is a certain computer readout.
What was it?
GM, this was like a month and a half ago. I just remember there was a computer readout.
Let me check my notes on you real quick.
Cool.
Say the question again. It might jog my memory.
There was
before I find it.
The last thing that Myth remembered on the Kismet when she woke up in her mind was a computer readout, some sort of graph, I think.
Oh, right. Yeah, hold on. I'll type that out to you. I remember now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the graph that kills anyone that looks at it. Duh.
Yeah, that one. It's like Death
that's the
Note, but with math.
Because that's the kind of bullshit our GM likes to throw at us.
Yeah. It's only if you're an android and you see it in a dream state that it's fine.
Very specific.
Yeah.
This fleet needs an intervention.
Speak for yourself.
You're not wrong.
Ah, yes.
I didn't say it. Haggard said it.
No, I know. I'm agreeing with Haggard. He's not wrong.
Captain, the last information I recall was Intel 1, a Defiant-class ship, decloaking and firing through our shields.
And the captain just he leans onto the table, elbow first, just throws his palm onto his forehead. He says, "Yep, that sounds about right."
Excuse me, Captain. Lieutenant, did you say Intel 1?
Affirmative.
Captain, that's one of our intelligence ships. That's supposed...
Yeah.
Captain Vex is supposed... That's Captain Vex's ship. She has no reason to shoot at you.
Kiddick finishes the drink.
No.
Additionally, it should be noted, the ship had full awareness of our shield modulations and was able to compensate its firing patterns so that they would be completely ineffective.
Again, they knew we were coming.
Precisely.
And they had your frequency. I don't understand. Correct me if I'm wrong, Captain, but you must be following procedure. You change frequency every, 2 days? 3 days? Or daily, if you're particularly paranoid?
Although I'm trying to
Affirmative.
remember.
I have a special program for calculating new shield frequencies for the Kismet.
I'm just trying to remember off the top of my head. How long was it between us leaving Starix and us getting royally screwed?
24, 48 hours
Okay.
at most.
Okay. Well, it's entirely possible that someone was able to get their hands on that intel when we met with Starix. That was the only opportunity. We had no contact with anyone else, with any other Starfleet vessel until before then. By that point, we would have changed shield modulation.
Captain, I mean, I know that the 10th, his reputation among the 10th is terrible, but I can't believe that he would.
No, Joan. Brendan's correct. Roland Starks is an asshole. And he betrayed us.
But
I wouldn't put it quite like that, but
Brennan.
it is somewhat correct. I just, as I mentioned, well, without putting too fine a point on it, the captain we discussed just earlier, Joan, mentioned that a certain admiral was behind the promotion of Starix.
I was also on board his ship.
Wait, what?
Joe just kind of sits back, like he just shuts right off, like he's just completely in shock.
I was on
right now.
board Starix's ship. Remember, you lent me
Right.
to him.
Right.
I wasn't on board the Kismet when you were attacked.
What do you remember?
I wasn't there for very long, really. Right, Joan?
The GM will tell you that yeah, you were there for like
Yeah,
you were there
sorry.
for like 2 days later.
Yeah. I was there for maybe 48 hours when it was made clear to me that my remaining aboard was a bad idea. Through a mutual friend.
Hmm.
At which point I borrowed a runabout, and then I met up with Captain Kiddick.
I see. But what about you, Myth?
Shall I continue?
Yes, please. I cut you off.
Very well. The next thing I recall after those readings was a dreamscape, something created in the recesses of my positronic network. I managed to awake myself from this state. I don't believe what transpired there was incredibly beneficial to all of you at this moment. At which point I found myself in a Romulan facility where my neural net was being probed for information, as far as I could determine. I proceeded to detach myself from their experiment. I was not currently being attended to. Equipped myself with weaponry, scanned for biological life signs, successfully avoided them, made it to their hangar bay, at which point I had to incapacitate 2 guards and stole a Romulan scout ship. I proceeded to destroy the facility in case any of the sensitive information located inside of my positronic net had been downloaded. At which point I cloaked the ship and made my way into Federation space. I happened to cross Warrant Officer Makarov purely by accident. Statistically incredibly unlikely.
Yeah. What are the odds?
Would you like me to calculate that, Cap?
No, 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 no.
Very well. The warrant officer's ship was in a state of disrepair, and so when 2 other Romulan scout ships decloaked, I determined it necessary to scuttle his ship and beam him on board mine. We then cloaked and made way for Federation space again. We were deterred from Federation space by 3 Federation ships. I will list out those ships. I don't know them off the top of my head.
I'm aware of that encounter. Joan here briefed me on them.
Very well. Then I believe you know roughly the rest. Nothing of
Right.
strategic importance happened for the remainder of my journey.
Right. A rather clever maneuver you did with the the neutron backwash to illuminate the Romulan Dardex warbird's silhouette.
Appreciate it, Captain.
Anyhow, well, I suppose that answers the most basic how. Joan, what do you think?
He turns around. I think that I need wherever it is, whatever it is you're planning to do, I need to get back to Earth. I need to get back to, I have to contact the Admiralty, and we need to re-secure our chain. And I need to leave as soon as possible. Because right now, by the sound of it, if this report is correct, and I don't think Lieutenant Myth is one to exaggerate, the only way he could have your codes, if that was how you got it, if that is how they got it, they either would have to have gotten it from Myth somehow, had an agent on board, which I don't believe you have one, or what's more likely, they have your prefix codes. The only way to get those is through Starfleet Command, which requires an admiral, not just a rear admiral. I mean the ones above Nia. So I need to get back to Earth. And I have to present our evidence as soon as possible.
The salamander will take you.
So we'll try to. Now, that said, I do intend, captains, to effect evasion of the listening posts and not check in with the star bases. Because right now, until we're back in the home systems, I don't know if we're safe to talk to anybody right now.
Right. Now, as Kiddick just suggested, it might be best for well, the Kismet would be your fastest way home, but the Salamander might be a little bit more under the radar.
That's my estimation as well, and the Salamander crew is well trained, so and experienced. I think we should, between me and Kiddick, we should be able to, Captain Kiddick, we should be able to slip by the net.
Understood. The Kismet might be too much. The Kismet might be too much of a draw.
In fact, they're probably looking for you, hunting for you and Lieutenant Myth here.
Affirmative, if the Romulan pursuit was any indication.
In that case, what do you suggest for us?
Oh, that's... my advice to you, Captain, frankly, Captain, I'm not entirely sure.
Well, if it's any help, there is a situation that you made me aware of that we could possibly assist with. We'd have to make a stop off at Starbase first, but we could certainly attempt it.
That could bridge to the captain.
Captain Grennan here.
We have a encrypted communique from a Ulysses, sir.
Captain immediately jumps to his feet and he says, "Put it on the screen here in the conference room. Joan, it's Haggard."
Oh, he runs over and starts entering his codes on the other side to unlock the call.
Yeah. Like,
huh? Oh, right.
And he looks over to Joan and says, "Should they be in here for this?"
At this point, they're the highest ranked people we can talk to right now.
All right.
A warrant officer.
Oh yeah, your security officer is missing.
Where's your thing? How do I misplace it?
Oof.
The voice comes through, but the face doesn't come in right away.
Subspace, it's a, subspace lag.
Yeah, it's a little bit of subspace lag. It's fine.
This is Captain Grennan of the Kismet.
Captain, I'm going to have to make this quick. Starix apparently sees himself as some sort of galactic savior, setting up some perfect polity where the Klingons and the Romulans and the Federation all sit around a campfire singing Kumbaya or some such nonsense. Meanwhile, the Victoria has been docked at the at Narendra Station. Starix claims that Admiral Trailblazer is being tortured. I'm going to attempt a rescue mission. Starix has at least 10 vessels besides the Tiananmen with him, mostly Klingon and Romulan, although also several Federation vessels. Things don't look good out here.
At fastest warp, we'd never make it in time.
I understand. My hope is that we get in, rescue the Admiral, and get the hell out. There's no way even the Ulysses can stand against the kind of firepower they've got ranked, but hopefully a quick, decisive surprise flyby
will do the job.
Right.
Now, as to your earlier inquiry, Joan is going to be heading back to Earth as soon as possible to make a formal, to lodge a formal inquest with Starfleet Command.
You've lost me, Captain. What earlier query?
About our Admiral friend.
Well, apparently the crazy runs deep out here by Narendra Station, Captain. I think Starix is trying to overthrow the Admiral Azalon and put himself in his place or something. I don't know what happened to the officer I knew in the war, but something's driven him over the edge, it seems.
The captain just lets out a sigh. Right. Everix, do you have that report for me?
I am finishing it up in Google Docs right now.
She's actually literally working on a report.
Yes.
I'm not going to have time to read into your reports. If I run into Calket, what's my best bet?
I will take off or I'll just cut a portion of it and send it to you. It's about the dampening field.
If you run into him, don't.
Yeah.
Don't shoot them.
Just don't.
Yeah, don't shoot them. They will explode and continue to explode as they react to each other.
Also send the schematics for the...
Yeah, I'm sending the schematics of the dampening field. So far, we've had great luck with it, even on the black-red versions of them. But some information has been brought to my attention that may indicate that may not be the case anymore, sir. We are. It may be the case that whatever is being done to them is so intense now that that's no longer an option. Your best bet would be, unfortunately, as much as it is horrible to say, get as far away from them as you can and shoot them.
Understood. All right, I've got to sign off now. Captain,
Hang on, wait a second.
quickly,
There's-
please.
There's one last thing. Either Wright
one
can
second.
send it to me, or Joan can say it.
Yeah.
Was a young man from Nantucket.
It's funny because I live like 20 miles from Nantucket.
You must love that joke so much.
I could get to Nantucket in like an hour and a half. Well, you have to take a ferry. God damn it, you guys. Okay. The captain looks at the captain on the screen and just says, "On horizon we spied fire. We dared to dream. To dream they were the lights of home. Instead we saw a city ablaze. We dared to dream. To dream we could cheat our fate. Our hopes afire, we dared to dream. To dream we'd soon see the dawn."
God, I thought I fought the Dominion War, so I wouldn't have to listen to this kind of jibber jabber.
Do I
What,
get to roll for that?
You get a roll for that. Insight Command difficulty 5.
What? It was Insight Con for me.
Our captain's spouting
What about,
off
protocols?
Shakespeare
Hack?
again.
Oh, there's messages coming in.
There you go.
Stat redistribution.
Okay.
Well, they trained them differently in Kiddick's fleet, so.
Yeah.
Do you have a value
Understood.
that might help?
Haggard says, "Understood," and she's tapping on her chair's panel. Sending new code system now.
Great.
All right, we're going in. See you on the other side. But if I don't, Starx also continued to call himself captain. So if nothing else, get him for impersonating a Starfleet officer. Haggard out.
Godspeed.
I'm gonna use a momentum to get an extra die, and only then it will be very hard.
Gotta love
Oh,
that.
So funny. That's like the equivalent of getting caught on tax evasion.
Does,
Worked on Al
cold-
Capone, didn't it?
Yeah.
Does cold reading help here?
The talent, you mean? It would help if you got the role. You would get an extra question about Grennan and what he means by that.
Using a momentum for a third die.
Womp womp.
Yeah, you recognize it as a code phrase, but it's so obscure. Why would you know it?
Kiddick's gonna lean over to Myth. What was that about?
I believe it is classified.
Would you tell a captain?
I haven't
I-
been given authorization.
I would go into more detail about it with you, Kiddick, but it sounds like you and Joan have to start making a beeline towards Earth as soon as possible.
Well, in that case, let's. Our transport awaits, good sir.
And Brennan looks to Joan and he said, "All right, So you think it's a good idea for us to to look into that little matter? It doesn't put us anywhere near Narendra.
Captain, I am not authorized as a strategic operations officer or an intelligence officer, and I have no powers to instruct you beyond what I briefed you.
Certainly not, but I want your opinion. Given what you know about the situation, and that you know more than I do.
That's not hard. That's OC, by the way.
Oh God!
My best advice, I would go over all your information, all the intelligence you have. Give yourself 12 hours to come up with a precise course of action and have a strategy long before you get there. Because right now, if all goes well on my end, the rest of the fleet will know. If it doesn't, you're on your own, and frankly, you can't trust anybody until we have either your situation in hand or Narendra's station in hand.
Right.
So,
in that case, you need to get going as soon as possible. Is there anything else that I need to know? Because as you said, I need to go over all the intelligence I can get my hands on in order to make best course of action.
You know what? Captain, it is my belief that the operative I spoke of is Commander Pend, and it is my belief at this time that he has perished on mission, and I'm the one who got him killed. He doesn't look at anybody. He just kind of looks at the ground, like he doesn't dare just look at anyone from the crew.
Kiddick fiddles with the glass.
What was that again, Kiddick?
Kiddick fiddles with the glass, like puts it upside down or on their head, just looking busy.
Give me a second.
Yes.
And he just says, "Sorry about this," and he is gonna cold cock Joan. He's gonna give him a right hook.
Or try.
He's going to oppose. He doesn't want to get punched.
Is it
Everett stands up and knocks over her chair. Captain!
You'll hurt your shoulder. Stop it.
Eat all of you. Yeah, that's about right.
Thumb on the outside, Captain.
And he
breaks his thumb.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, jeez.
Jeez.
Oh, no.
I was fully expecting you to save some of that for later.
Yes! I
roll damage.
Did the captain win a fight?
This doesn't happen.
This doesn't happen ever.
And without another word, the captain is just going to turn around and he storms out.
Commander Joan is unconscious, not moving on the.
I am on
Wait,
a ship full of children.
Yep.
I go over and check on Joan.
Why did the captain punch?
Did Ren? I like our captain.
I am confused.
Oh my god.
Kiddix gonna go over and offer emotional support.
Xenobiology? Oh.
Technically, yes.
Oh my god.
I can't
Oh,
assist
it's
with
so funny.
medicine, but I can assist by looking beautiful and telling you to do a good job.
Yeah.
Hey, gaining momentum.
Woo.
Just pour some
Jonah
water on him.
seeing the
Oh,
like birds circling
man.
their head in the cartoons.
Wouldn't this constitute a code of conduct? Myth is just very confused, like
Oh,
slightly rambling about what's happened.
don't worry, Lieutenant. The captain and I will be having words.
I sure hope so. I knocked out my passenger.
Do we have a boxing ring? I want to fight Grennan.
We have balloon boxing.
There's a gym.
Balloon boxing!
Oh my god!
That's a callback.
That's a callback.
What's a
What?
callback?
Balloon boxing.
Oh yeah.
No, that's not what I'm talking about.
As it seems that blood seems to be pouring and seeping into the carpet.
Dr. Efforts.
Efforts
Oh,
to
God.
medbay. We have a medical emergency in conference
Uh,
room. I'm gonna turn him on his side so that
Activate
he
EMH.
clears air. Right.
Get the janitor too.
Oh no.
I'm gonna go talk to Brennan. I'll be back in an hour or so when I've strangled him.
Remember, bob and weave. Bob and weave.
Can someone grab my kit? It's over by the chair.
Affirmative. Myth grabs the kid.
Did Grennan kill him?
He's dying.
What?
That was 3 damage! How much stress has he taken?
Oh, I
There was-
spent some extra threat to hurt him more, and then spent it. And because of his complication, he actually took
Way more.
than
Yeah.
thought happened.
Okay. I gotta. Okay. Can I clear his airway? Like.
Efforts. Activate EMH.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. He can be anywhere. Yeah. Activate EMH.
Oh god. Oh no.
Oh God, that's not normal. Okay.
1 second, I have to pull up the difficulty again because I forget. I think it's diff 2, diff 3 to stabilize somebody who's dying.
Okay.
Time to start CPR.
Emergency medicine,
Jesus. Right.
and now
Pretty sure it's a default 2 unless you have devastating.
Do you have devastating, Captain? Just wondering.
Debilitating.
Oh, debilitating. Sorry.
You can't give debilitating to unarmed strikes.
I don't know. This crew.
Pen will get it at some point.
Yeah, that's true.
Wow.
I'm gonna spin for caution.
Although, I mean, the thing though is that unarmed strike is supposed to be non-lethal.
Yeah.
Actually, the only thing in the book, I don't think unarmed strike is actually labeled non-lethal.
It is.
Yeah, it is.
It is. Knockdown, non-lethal.
You've stabilized him. He won't die this scene.
Okay.
I don't like the fact that you said this scene.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. The computer's really slow right now. Oop. Please state the nature of the medical emergency. That's gonna stain.
More than
love it.
steak.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's
Yes.
okay. The bleeding stopped. That's good, doctor. I think he's not gonna die, but we should probably get him to transport him
Med bay.
to the med bay.
Yes.
Well, Captain Grennan's career is over.
Well, good. Then you won't be upset about the other news that I have to give you.
Well, yeah, great. This day could not get any worse.
Oh boy.
Well,
You see, you
That's
say
like
that.
Efrix is already mad. Efrix was already mad at you for punching him, and she's even more.
Granted,
Means it's gonna
I'm
take even
pregnant.
longer to go talk to you.
See, he probably wouldn't have done that if it weren't for the specific fact that Joan said it's my
Mhm.
fault he's dead.
Yeah.
With
Oh
the
no,
impression,
as a player, I think that was the choice that Grennan would have made. As Efrix, I am mad at you.
I'll meet you and the med bay later, Doctor.
Yes.
Oh, okay, good. I didn't want to treat him here. Pop. And I'll save you the roll. Joan is beamed away.
Oh, okay. I did call for a med team to come up here, so
Yeah, he's it.
Yeah.
Unless you do actually want to treat him there and try to get rid of the
No.
injury. Okay.
no, it's fine.
So,
He's stabilized, right? Which means stress goes away at the next team.
It means he won't die, and I'm willing to hand wave that the need to, because by the time next episode starts, he'll have left. But you've stopped him from dying.
Yeah. I send my readings and stuff down to med bay so they know.
Captain.
My headcanon was just that he
Oh,
was
no.
taking so much mental stress from everything going on that his stress bar was full.
Then
Captain is in his ready room.
there you go.
So the note I got from Joan when I was like, "Oh my god, what?" His nose has been crushed into his brain, and he's now bleeding.
Hey, I had that exact same injury at work today.
Oh
It's not fun.
no.
no!
Oh no. Anyway, it wasn't. Oh no, because
and
it was
then-
already fixed. But yes, Captain.
I
Keating-
also,
Hmm?
after he's beamed away and I send all the information, I go to find Grennan.
Captain Grennan, Captain Kiddick basically chases after you, more or less, and steps in basically after you are. Someone else is going to be visiting you in a sec.
Go away, Captain.
Oh no.
You should go away.
I don't know where to start.
You should go away before I get you killed too.
First of all, do you need a hug?
What?
Is there any way I can make this less hard on you?
Honestly, no. This is what I signed up for when I became captain. And I let it get to me. And he just sits down.
Kiddick's gonna move over and sit down on the desk next to Grennan, crossing their leg over the other.
Every time someone is put under me, they die, Kiddick. What does that say about me as a commander?
It means you have heavy boots.
Every time someone puts their trust in me, they die because of some decision I made. I decided to send Varro into a situation that I knew was volatile and dangerous, and he died, and thought I could get him back. But no. And then I punished Penn for doing the exact same harebrained thing that I just did. And now he's dead.
Heavy wears the mantle. That is. No, I don't do this flowery shit. This is what captaincy is. I recommend counseling and I don't know, leave. Take care of yourself, Brennan.
I don't know if I have that luxury right now.
Well,
If you haven't noticed, the entire quadrant is falling apart.
well, there is another captain here.
You have to get Joan back to Earth as soon as possible.
John can do that, my number one. He will be taking over the salamander anyways.
I'm sorry, what?
I'm joining the 10th. They will remain with the 3rd.
I see.
But since there is turmoil, and he doesn't know who to talk to about me joining, there's a little bit of float, so to say. You gonna answer the door?
Enter.
And
Okay.
she starts shooting the whole room. Sorry, go ahead.
No.
That's my move.
This ship.
Captains,
Doctor?
notice there's a. Just wipe your hand off. There's like blood on.
Oh God.
That's a nice uniform you had there.
Mean Red Hook, Captain.
Red is a nice color on you.
She gives you a look. She's like, no.
Kitty winks.
No.
What the hell are you? What are you, Brennan?
No, I'm you, but better.
Wow. Captain. I know what Joan said is hard, but it's pent. And no disrespect to Vara's memory, but Pen doesn't go down that easy.
No, he does not.
And Brennan just continues looking down.
However, we have other things to discuss, Captain.
Yes.
Lieutenant Barter is unconscious. Stable for now, but unconscious in med bay.
Oh,
It is a direct response, his body's response, to off-the-charts psionic readings.
great.
What I said about the black and red Calcat, she looks over at Kiddick.
And with the ocean plugged right into whatever the hell this thing is, and he waves up a pad. He waves up a pad. He says, "Got a report from a captain out in the Alpha Quadrant. Something about the ocean being jacked right into some kind of reality warping artifact."
That's fucked.
That might be part of it, since Varder is directly connected to the ocean. It's been explained to me as if normal psionics, ones that are born with it, they swim in it. But Varder is... The Calcat are a boat. They float on top of it. And Varder is fused with that boat. So anything that affects them affects him.
Interesting.
Likewise, others that are similarly affected by the Calcat. We've lost contact.
So,
She raises an eyebrow at Brennan.
wait, you don't mean...
She nods. What that means for them, I am not sure. If we can help the Calcat, if we can turn it around, if we can stop the spread of the black, maybe. Maybe they're just part of it now. but I don't know.
Well, in my experience, this is Starfleet. And everything we set out to do, there is a chance of succeeding. I suggest we get cracking. And I suggest that Captain Grennan takes a few days off while we move towards our next position, so to speak.
Right. And if I may make a suggestion, Captain Kiddick,
Of course.
I would suggest Starbase 21.
Absolutely.
I'll leave you all the intelligence that I've managed to gather.
I appreciate
Captain,
it.
Yes?
I've been informed our best bet, our only bet, is Calcat 2.
How far are we from Calcat 2?
Pulling you over to the star map briefly. We're here. Calcat 2 is effectively here.
I mean, how far away is that? That's like at max warp, that's like a week.
Uh, 10 days.
Our
Well-
intel seems to believe that that's time enough.
Where's Starbase 21?
It is down here. Ah, down
Here,
here.
I don't see it.
Oh god, that's in the opposite direction.
Oh, geez. Okay.
Actually,
Well, maybe see if the Tereshkova can deal with it.
Drawing on the map.
If it was me, it would be a lighter blue.
Well,
Well, given that, given what's going on at Narendra Station, sounds like that might be our best bet then.
Calcat 2.
Calcut 2.
Then we're agreed.
I think.
Captain Grennan? Yes, Doctor?
I think it's safe to assume we know who's controlling the Calcat. We can only hope if, for some reason, Stark's coup manages to be successful, that they'll be released. But I wouldn't hold my breath. That's the idiom, right?
I guess so. I wouldn't know.
You're not wrong.
In that case,
oh god.
Someone has split the
It's been
universe.
torn.
What?
The universe has been torn in half.
Great bird of the galaxy was that?
in that case, I suppose I stand relieved.
Yes. For, how long shall we say? For the next 10 days, you are relieved of duty, and you shall do your utmost to rest up and deal with your emotions.
So,
Salamander will return to the Sol system, and when you're ready, you will regain your position as the commanding officer of this vessel. Does that sound
Understood.
fair?
I guess I'm getting on the Salamander then.
No, you are not getting on the
Oh, man,
Salamander.
I'm gonna have to apologize like hell to Joan for this.
You can
I
do
don't
that
think
when
that's what we
get
were
back to
saying,
Sol.
Captain.
I'm saying that you remain on this ship, but you do
Oh.
your utmost to rest up.
Ah, okay.
Steer clear of the bridge. You spend some time in the holodeck, climbing mountains or going to the theater or whatever you do. And I will assume command.
Right.
And talk to me.
Right.
And talk to the Solon.
As I said, though, before it goes, I still should apologize to Joan. I did slug him pretty hard.
He's currently unconscious in sickbay, Captain.
Yeah.
Well, since he has something, we will transfer him to the salamander. My
As soon as he's stable enough to transfer, of course.
yes, my sickbay is not.
Okay,
Not up to
one
par
way or
with,
another, see to it that he gets my sincerest apologies.
You can tell him after we're done. When we've slaked this corruption.
Captain,
Yes, Doctor.
I think. Sorry, Captain Grinner. I think he'll understand. He may not like it. In fact, I'd be a little worried about him if he did. So that opens a whole nother can of worms. But for what it's worth, I'm choosing to believe that Pind is maybe not fine, but pissed off, and that's worse.
Indeed.
For everyone else, anyway.
Yeah. And he looks up at you guys, the two of you, and first off, you can just see the bags under his eyes. It is clear he has not been getting any sleep. And you just sort of see this look of utter defeat in his eyes. And he says, "Thanks.
How
Huh?
about that hug? You look like you need it.
And he stands up and he gives Captain Kiddick a hug.
Fuck yeah. Get some rest. Get up
But a
already.
fan for the episode.
I stand relieved. And the captain leaves his ready room.
Oh. Oh boy.
I need to schedule so many counseling appointments.
Good.
We
And
are an
with
emotional roller coaster on this ship.
and with that, that is the end of the episode.